Our thanks to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partner, Speedo. Official supplier, IHG. Supporting partners, Sports Systems, Sheffield City Council and Ponds Forge International Sports Centre.
Your referees this morning, Craig Hunter and Gillian Smith. Your starters this morning, Roger Pryor and Chris Jones. Thank you, officials. Please be seated.
We are just moments away then from day 3 heats, but can we please have the coach from Kingston Royals, please, to the time and sweep. So a coach or representative from Kingston Royals, please, to the time and sweep. So day number 3 of a 6-day competition, and throughout the week we are going to see 1,465 swimmers. They, of course, will swim across 4 strokes, and there are 206 events. But we do have every day 90+ volunteers in the house, and without them, these events would not be possible. So please do just put your hands together and show your appreciation to all of our volunteers at this year's ASA National Championships. Now, I'm afraid we do move on to a little bit of boring housekeeping, and I'm sorry that I have to be the one to deliver this news, but we do ask that in the interest of fair play, that you do turn off the flash on your videos and also your cameras, please. It's only because it distracts our athletes, and we wouldn't want to see any disqualifications due to flash photography. Thank you ever so much in advance for doing this, and we are just seconds away now. Remember, please do shout for all of our swimmers, because I promise you, the louder you shout, the faster they swim. So in just under a month's time, we will be having a small group of athletes going out to Samoa to compete at the Commonwealth Youth Games. We have 3 of those swimmers swimming with us this week. Edward Baxter from Cockermouth, Georgina Boyle from Chelsea and Westminster, and Jarvis Parkinson from Doncaster Darts. So if you do see them around the poolside, please do wish them luck for a month's time at the Commonwealth Youth Games. So we are now ready to go, and we start off with event 301, the Men's Open 200 metres individual medley, heat number 1. So in the Men's Open 200 metres individual medley, we do have 8 heats. We start off with our younger boys, and in this heat, lane 3, swimming for Deepings, is Tom Adams. Lane 4, from the city of Leicester, Coley. Lane 5, from Elmbridge, Luca Frankhauser. Lane 6, from Nother Centurion, Matthew Shipley. So our 13-year-olds do sit predominantly in heats 1 and 2. However, we have 2 in heat number 3, Joshua Cohen in heat number 4, and out there in heat number 5 is Finin Terrain of the 13 years. Now these swimmers will be swimming tonight in finals and across different categories. So the 12 and 13-year-olds will swim together, the 14-year-olds separately, the 15-year-olds separately, 16 and 17-year-olds together, and then the 18 years and over. But at the 50-meter mark, it was 30.75 for the swimmer from Deepings. Here's an entry time of a 2:30.59, turning then in a 68.40. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these boys are on for personal best times, but look at the difference that turn has made. Tom Adams is now coming back stroke for stroke.
And he is, Tom Adams, in lane number 3, really pushing ahead in this breaststroke length. Now about half a body length ahead of Cole Lee from City of Leicester in lane number 4. And these boys in turn about a body length ahead of lane number 5, Luca Fankhauser from Elmbridge. As we come into the last 10 metres of this breaststroke length now, Tom Adams of Deepings really extending his lead. Clear water ahead of the rest of the field as he comes into his final turn. Turning there 1:51.25 as we've got 50 metres freestyle to go. And do make sure you get behind all of your swimmers today. They've got a very long way to go in this 200 metres and as they come into the last 25 metres here, Tom Adams of Deepings led from the beginning, and he is getting clear water ahead of the rest of the field into the last 20 metres.
Exactly, we coming into the 10 metres then to go. Tom Adams, great to see if these boys can keep their head down in the last 5, as that shows strong technique throughout the year. Tom Adams then takes the gold in heat number 1, 2:25.38. Second place going to Cole Lee from the City of Leicester, 2:26.94. And the third place to Nova Centurions, Matthew Shipley, 2:28.82.
The official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 1. We move on to heat 2. On to heat number 2 in lane 0, swimming for Romford Town, Liam Brennan. Lane 1, swimming for City of Birmingham, Luke Skelding. In 2, swimming for Thanet, Kieran Dale. Lane 3, representing City of Leicester, James Newman. In 4, representing City of Birmingham, Oliver Watson. Lane 5, swimming for Guildford City, Noah Doest. In 6, swimming for Millfield, Hugh Williams. In 7, representing Romford Town, James Cooper. In 8, swimming for City of Liverpool, Toby Ryland. And in 9, representing Mount Kelly, Jack Plumer. And after the 50 metres butterfly there, James Cooper in lane number 7, leading the way. He won a silver medal in the 200 metres backstroke already this competition. His split time here earlier, 29.79, the only swimmer to go sub 30. As we come up to the halfway mark, he has a considerable lead over the rest of the field.
He does indeed. So James Cooper out there in lane number 7. He turns in a 1:04.96. 1:04.96. We're looking around the 2:21 mark here if he can keep this up. 1:04.96. I can tell you James Cooper just missed out on the medals in day 1's 400 metres individual medley. So he will be looking to try and get on that medal podium today. We know he's on form. He set a personal best time in that 400 metres individual medley of a 5:30. So just outside that magic 5-minute barrier. But look at Oliver Watson and James Newman coming back in the centre of the lane as we come into the third turn. Fastest time so far, 1:51.25, and these boys are going to turn quicker than that, 1:50.56. So if they can keep it up, they will be on for around 2:23s, 2:24s, which will be personal best times for them. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, bring our swimmers home.
Into the last 25 metres now for heat number 2, and it is lane 3, James Newman, a City of Leicester, currently just inching ahead of lane 7, James Cooper. James Newman won the silver in the 400 IM earlier this week, so we know he's got the strength over the long distance. Will he be able to take this heat? But it is James Cooper in lane number 7 from Romford Town, taking heat number 2 in a time of 2:22.48. Second there, James Newman, City of Leicester, 2:22.9. And third, Oliver Watson from City of Birmingham, 2:25.25. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 3. Heat number 3 of the men's open 200 metres individual medley in lane 0. So in for the Kingston upon Hull team, Joe Bastio-Taylor. Lane 1, swimming for Hadfield, Reese Housden. Lane 2, from Maidenhead, Joe Lang. Lane 3, from the Borough of Kirklees, Samuel Luzu. Lane 4, swimming for Northampton, Brett Davis. Lane 5, swimming for Bournemouth Collegiate, Christian Tay. Lane 6, from the City of Liverpool, Ben Smith. Lane 7, swimming for City of Salford, James Duncan. And in lane 8, swimming for Northampton, Edward Mildred. And finishing off in lane number 9, from Preston, Kayo Tanner. 30.59 then. I can tell you that's exactly the same time from the previous heat. So all of these boys range between 12 and 14 years of age, and the 2 outside lanes across both sides of the pool have our younger category in there. So please do give them a shout, as they will be wanting those lanes in tonight's finals. 65.70, Jenny. I can tell you that's slightly slower than the previous heat.
Absolutely, lane 5 now having a great backstroke leg there, Christian Ty from Bournemouth Collegiate. But still going well is Samuel Loisu of Borough of Kirklees, who won the 200 metres backstroke last night. So we know he had a strong backstroke leg. Will they be able to keep up in this breaststroke length as we come down to the 150 mark? And these 2 boys in lane 3 and 5 really leading the way, but coming back over in lane number 1, Reese Housden of Hatfield in the pink hat. And at the final turn now, it is Christian Ty holding on to his lead, 1:48.28. That's a good 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. Second currently still Samuel Luzo of Borough Kirklees in lane number 3.
So then the battle is on. It is Bournemouth Collegiate swimmer Christian Tay coming through like a train here. Samuel Luzo also trying to hold on. He's had a great meet so far. But coming into the last 5, let's see if these boys keep their head down in the red markers. They have a sneaky breath there. But nonetheless, they probably are more than likely set personal best times. They have indeed. 2:21.71 for the Bournemouth Collegiate swimmer Christian Tay. Samuel Luzu comes closely behind in a 2:21.92 from the Borough of Kirklees. And City of Salford swimmer James Duncan touches home third in a 2:24.15. The results for heat number 3 are official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
And we move on to heat number 4 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. Swimming in lane 0, representing City of Hereford, Nathan Wallace. In lane 1, swimming for Newcastle, Christian Ubernen. In 2, swimming for City of Leeds, Samuel Wardle. In 3, representing Thanet Swim, Joshua Cohen. In 4, representing Doncaster Darts, Simon Clement. In 5, representing Stockport Metro, Harvey Jones. In 6, swimming for Nova Centurion, Joshua Harris. In 7, representing Grimsby, George Barber. In 8, swimming for Guildford City, Lewis Illingworth. And in 9, completing the lineup from Holton, William Woodward. And after 50 metres there, George Barber in lane number 7, leading the way 29.25. 4 swimmers going sub 30 in that butterfly length. It is lane number 5, Harvey Jones of Stockport Metro, who's had a very strong backstroke leg as he comes up to the halfway mark.
And then just slightly ahead, it is Harvey Jones, Stockport Metro, turning in 64.39. Just like to draw your attention to the swimmer in lane number 3. That is Thanet Swims' Joshua Cohen. He won the gold medal on day number 1 on the 400 meters IM in a personal best time of 4:53.57. All of the remainder of the boys are 14 years of age, and already now we are seeing Simon Clement coming through. Breaststroke, really his dominant part of this race. A great long stroke. Fabulous technique by the gentleman in lane number 4. But as they come up to the 150 mark, only about half a body length between all 7 of these boys leading out there at the front at the moment. And I can tell you, Nathan Wallace in lane 0 from the city of Hereford, 1:48.56, is leading the way. We're having some fast water out in the outside lanes, Jenny.
Absolutely, had a very good breaststroke length there, but coming back in this last 20 meters now in lane number 6, Joshua Harris of Nova Centurion. Alongside him in lane number 4, Simon Clement of Doncaster Darts. As they come into the last 5 meters now, head down as they come into the touch. And to take heat number 4, it is Joshua Harris of Nova Centurion in a time of 2:21.43. Second there, Simon Clement from Doncaster Darts, 2:21.52. And third there, Samuel Wardle from City of Leeds in a time of 2:22.87. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 4.
We move on to heat number 5. Moving on to heat number 5. In lane 0, swimming for Bournemouth Collegiate, Finin Terrain. Lane 1 from Bromley, Alexander Island. Lane 2 from the Borough of Harrow, Ben Hooper. Lane 3 from Derwentshire, Oliver O'Halloran. Lane 4 from Basildon Phoenix, Harry Nichols. No swimmer in lane number 5. Swimming in lane number 6, Enfield Squad's Reese Nichols. Lane 7 from the Royal Wolverhampton, Kane Murcott. Lane 8 from Northampton, Jack Buswell. And in lane 9, swimming for Boldmere, Leo Karski. 27 then, 0.87. I can tell you that is by far the fastest time. 1.4 seconds faster than the previous heat. And we have just our last 13-year-old swimming in lane 0 in this heat. That is Finin Terrain, Bournemouth Collegiate. Currently in 8th position, but he will be looking for a spot in tonight's final. He didn't swim the 400 metres individual medley, so just concentrating on this 200, the shorter distance. Turning in at the halfway mark, it is the swimmer in lane number 763.78. That is 1.4 seconds faster than the previous heat.
But also going well in lane number 2, it is Ben Hooper, who went out extremely fast on that butterfly leg. But coming back, several boys as they come up into the middle of the pool. And going well in 7, it is Kane McCart from Wolverhampton still. But it is lane number 1, Alexander Island from Bromley, who's having a very strong breaststroke leg as they come into the final turn here. And it is turning first, Alexander Island of Bromley, 1:46.59. That's 2 seconds quicker than heat number 4. So these guys are on for a very good personal best. And the lane number 7 still streaking away as he comes into the last 20 meters.
We may see some of these swimmers going under 2:20, so let's give them a shout as they come into the last 10 metres. Out there, though, in lane number 7, a fantastic swim for Kane Murcott. He's going to touch first in a new personal best time of 2:17.78. Second place goes to Bromley swimmer Alexander Island, 2:19.31, and Reese Nichols from the Enfield squad taking the third place in 2:20.59. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 6. It's the first of the cyclically seeded heats now. Heat number 6, swimming in lane 0, representing Swindon Dolphins, James Watson. In 1, representing Dulwich Dolphins, James Gilly. In 2, swimming for West Norfolk, Nathan Wells. In 3, representing Mount Kelly, Reese Worth. In lane 4, swimming for Guildford City, Frederick Biggs. In 5, swimming for Thanet Swim, Ben Evans. In 6, for Team Ipswich, Robert Lancaster. In 7, swimming for Stockport Metro, Samuel Goldrick. In 8, swimming for Grimsby, William Hendry. And in 9, from Plymouth Leander, Harry Middleton. And Reese Worth of Mount Kelly in lane number 3, posting the fastest split there, 27.79. But it is lane number 3. And it is lane number 3, Reese Worth, still holding on to his lead as we come into the halfway mark. But catching him up here, lane number 5, Ben Evans of Thanet Swim, having a great backstroke length.
So at the 50-metre mark, they were 3 100s quicker, and at 61.29, I can tell you that is 1.2 seconds quicker than the previous heat. So 61.29, but there really isn't anything in it at the moment. These boys range between 15 and 19 years of age. Our 15-year-olds are in lanes 0, 8 and 9. So that's James Watson, William Hendry and Harry Middleton. And these boys will be looking to try and place themselves into tonight's final. And a number of these swimmers swimming in the 400 metres earlier on this week. At the 150 mark then, 139.02. I can tell you that is our first swimmer under the 140 mark. Remember, this is our sickly seeded heat, 1 of 3, as they come into the last 10 metres.
And it's Robert Lancaster of Team Ipswich leading the way, but going extremely well alongside him in lane number 5, Ben Evans of Thanet Swim, as they come into the close to touch now. It is Ben Evans of Thanet Swim taking heat number 6 in a time of 2:10.34. Second is Robert Lancaster from Team Ipswich in a time of 2:10.72. And third there, Nathan Wells from West Norfolk in a time of 2:11.59. And the fastest time there, 2:10.34. That's now going to be the time to beat ahead of heat 7 and 8. So they'll have seen that swim and be looking to post similar times to make sure they get through to tonight's final. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 6.
And we move on to heat number 7. So the penultimate heat in the water, that's heat number 7. Swimming in lane 0 is Gregory Butler from the City of Derby. Lane 1, Joseph Burren from Newcastle. Lane 2, swimming for Thanet Swim, Jordan Honour. Lane 3, from the Portsmouth North Sea Club, Oliver Jermy. Lane 4, from Ellesmere College, Hayden Griffiths. Lane 5, from Middlesbrough, Jamie Garbett. Lane 6, from the City of Coventry, Samuel Richards. Lane 7, from Sedgefield, Matthew Bradley. Lane 8, swimming for Reading, Joshua Gobble. And in lane 9, from Hatfield, Harry Constantine. So the fastest time, 27.34. That is with the swimmer in lane number 7. There was a fast lane in the previous heat. And we have two 15-year-olds left in this heat. They are out there in lane 0, Gregory Butler and Harry Constantine in lane 9. Gregory Butler got the 4th position in the 400 IM in his age group earlier on, but keep an eye on Hayden Griffiths in the middle of the pool, because he was the gold medal winner in the 18 years and over. He always has a fast second half of the race, so we expect him to come through as he does this leg. Minute mark then, 60.29 is the time to beat. That is exactly a second quicker than the previous heat.
And it's Hayden Griffiths is now inching away now from the rest of the field. It's in the black hat in the centre lane. About half a body length ahead of lane number 3, Oliver Jeremy from Portsmouth Northsea. As we come now into the final turn, 50 metres freestyle left to go. And at the turn there, it was Hayden Griffiths of Ellesmere College, a 1:39.59. That was 0.57 slower than the previous heat, but they'll be looking to chase that down as they come into the last 20 metres.
So your gold medal winner, Hayden Griffiths from Ellesmere College Titans, being chased by Oliver Jeremy from the Portsmouth Northsea Club. It will be on the touch. Let's see which one of these boys will get it head down. And it does go to the fast finisher, Oliver Jeremy from Portsmouth Northsea in a 2:10.74. Great swim by him. Second place, 2:10.89 to the Hayden Griffiths from Ellesmere College. And the third place to the City of Coventry swimmer, Samuel Richards, in a 2:12.88. So Gregory Butler setting the time of 2:19.45 out there as well in lane 0. Just 15 years of age, he got 4th in the 400 IM, and he'd be looking to try and get on the middle podium tonight in the shorter distance. But while we're waiting for those official results, come on ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and show your appreciation for heat number 7. So those official results are now displayed on the scoreboard.
We move on to the final heat, heat number 8. We move on to the final heat of event 301, the men's 200 metres individual medley. Heat number 8, swimming in lane 0, representing Sutton Cheam, Michael Rees. In 1, representing City of Leicester, Isaac Peace. In 2, swimming for City of Derby, Ryan Reeder. In 3, representing Gloucester, Craig Munden. In 4, swimming for Wigan Best, Dominic Suggett. In 5, representing Chelmsford, Augustus Vesey. In 6, representing Louth, William McIntyre. In 7, swimming for Cockermouth, Thomas Milburn. In 8, representing Kingston and Hull, Devon van der Weisthuizen. In 9, representing Modernians, Patrick Cavini. And turning first there is lane number 3, Craig Munden from Gloucester, in 26.96. That's the fastest time so far for that butterfly split. Going well alongside him, Craig Munden and Gloucester, as they come into the halfway mark.
So our first gentleman under the minute then, 59.72 from the Wigan Best swimmer, Dominic Suggett. Keep an eye though please on Michael Rees and Patrick Keaveney. They are in the outside lanes and they are 15 years of age. But we have two gentlemen under the minute mark, Craig Munden and Dominic Suggett. They have personal best times of 2:10.92 and 2:12.13. Fastest 100-metre split has been, 150-metre split has been 1:39.02. So these boys, if they can keep it up, are on for just going slightly under that 2:10 mark. So let's bring them home as they come into their last 50 metres.
And Craig Munden of Gloucester having a very good breaststroke length there. And he currently takes the lead about a body length ahead of the rest of the field. Going well in lane number 6, William McIntyre of Louth. Currently vying for the second place finish in this heat. But also coming back at them in lanes 1 and 2 is Isaac Peace and Ryan Reeder. But Craig Munden of Gloucester out in front here as he comes in to take heat number 8 in a time of 2:10.43. A second there, Ryan Reeder of City of Derby, 2:12.33. And third, Dominic Suggett from Wigan Best in 2:12.43. And so Craig Munden there of Gloucester, 2:10.43, just outside heat 6 fastest time, but they'll all be looking for a place in tonight's final. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. For heat number 8, and the summary of the event is now on the scoreboard. So as we said earlier, the top 10 and 2 reserves will go through to tonight's final. So swimmers, if you swam in the men's 200 meters individual medley, do check out the summary scrolling across the board right now and see where you placed.
So a great effort there by all of our boys in their open 200 metres individual medley. They will be all swimming, or shall I say a selected 10 swimming in each of their respective categories in tonight's final. If you've just arrived with us today, a couple of things that I must make you aware of. We have a daily newsletter out there for you to read that gives you all of the top stories. It can be found on the accreditation desk by the front door. So our swimmer of the day from yesterday was Commonwealth Youth Games athlete Jarvis Parkinson. He really is showing some great form as he heads into Samoa in September. He took 2 golds yesterday in the 200 metres backstroke as well as the 50 metres backstroke. So well done to Jarvis Parkinson. Also well done to every single swimmer that has come here. And if you haven't done swim PBs, if you've learned something from it, then great job as well. We've got 3.5 days to go of the remainder of this competition. Keep an eye out today for Edward Baxter, who's in the 17 years 200 IM. He'll be swimming in tonight's final. You saw him do this morning. And also Nathan Wales. Keep an eye out for him as well. We had 2 birthdays yesterday. We haven't been told of anyone that has a birthday today. So if you do know of someone that has a birthday today or has one coming up in the rest of the week, please do let us know up here in the commentary box. We're sitting right up near the ceiling on the opposite side of the spectators gallery. We now move on to event 302, the women's multi-classification 100 metres freestyle, heat number 1. So for the multi-classification 100 metres freestyle for women, we have 3 heats. Swimming in heat number 1. In lane number 1 from the Carlisle Aquatic squad is G. Cooper Holmes. Lane 2 from Grantham, Hayley Milne. Lane 3 from Shrewsbury, Fionn Butler. Lane 4 from Orion, Megan Richer. Lane 5 swimming for Stirling Swim, Hope Gordon. Lane 6 from Guildford City, Olivia May Cameron. And in lane 7 from Whitsbeck, Anya Fulkus. And in heat number 1, we have a mixture of categories ranging from S7 through to S13. And if you are new to disability swimming, I can tell you that it's not always the fastest time that wins the event. it is down to points. So points mean prizes. The higher the points, the higher you will place. So these ladies will be wanting to try and book themselves into tonight's final. So we will tell you the times, but it is the points that you need to keep an eye on. But touching home first in lane number 4 is Megan Richer from Orion, and 110.92. She gains 639 points. Shrewsbury swimmer Fionn Butler currently standing second in this heat with 614 points. But we still have our swimmers coming in to touch home. Please show your appreciation for all of our swimmers in heat number 1. So with the highest points in heat number 1, it is Megan Richer from Orion with 639 points. The second place, Fionn Butler, 614. And the third place with 525 points is Hope Gordon. Congratulations, ladies.
We move on to heat number 2. On to heat number 2 of event 302, the women's multi-classification 100 meters freestyle, swimming in lane 1, representing Swim WM is Megan Russ. In lane 2, representing Burnley Bobcats, Katie Rillett-Young. In 3, swimming for Clevedon, Harriet Dickinson. In 4, representing Warrington Warriors, Coral Farrell. In 5, swimming for Worcester, Rebecca Redfern. In 6, swimming for Hoddesdon, Grace Harvey. And in 7, representing Wellingborough, Maisie Summers-Newton. As Sarah mentioned earlier, it's all about the points here, so they will have seen Megan Richter go and get 639 points in the previous heat. They'll be looking to clock quick times to ensure they get highest points to get through to tonight's final. Currently leading the way in lane number 5 is Rebecca Redfern of Worcester. And she touches now in 582 points, but Coral Farrell of Warrington Warriors alongside her has 601, whereas Grace Harvey touching there with 689 points. That's the highest point so far. Maisie Summers-Newton coming in with 627. Katie Rillett-Young in 628. And Megan Russ in 286 points. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 2.
So we move on to the final heat. That's heat number 3. So we're ready to start the final heat, heat number 3. So 8 swimmers in heat number 3, swimming in lane 1 from Wickham District, Katie Crowhurst. Lane 2 from the Gloucester Swimming Club, Lavanna Hanson. Lane 3, swimming for Derwentside, Jay McCabe. Lane 4 from Richmondale, Lily McLeod. Lane 5, Nova Centurions, Kira Shepherd. Lane 6 from Glossop, Eleanor Bamber. Lane 7 from Shrewsbury, Portia Jones. And in lane 8 from Littlehampton, Georgia Howell. So we've had 639 is the highest point score so far. 689, my apologies, in the previous heat. And we have categories ranging from S6 through to S13 in this last heat. Georgia Howe then, S6 out in lane 8, and as S13 is Lily McLeod. But all of these swimmers will be wanting to do personal best times as we come in to the last 5 meters for Lily McLeod. She's going to touch home first in 665 points. Keep an eye though on the scoreboard. Kira Shepherd currently in second place with 627. But remember, points mean prizes. So we are looking at the points in this race. The higher the points, the more likely you're going to get into a final. At the moment, it is 665 is the highest point score. And we're just waiting on Georgia Howe to come in. This is great swimming from her, S6 category. She swims for Littlehampton. She's got just 5 meters to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and bring all of our swimmers home in the women's 100 meters freestyle multi-classification. Georgia then, she touches home in a great time, a 150.15. So 665 is the highest point score in heat number 3 for Lily McLeod. Congratulations, ladies. And those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
And we now move on to event 303. It's the men's multi-classification 100 meters freestyle. There are 3 heats in this event. Heat number 1. We're in heat number 1, swimming in lane 1, representing Wirral Metro, Matthew Harding. In lane 2, swimming for City of Newport, Liam Walsh. In 3, representing Fareham, Arthur Morley. In 4, swimming for Cockermouth, Luke Reeson. In 5, swimming for City of Peterborough, Jackson Simmons. In 6, representing Saxon Crown, Jay Monaghan Coombs. And in 7, representing Kingston Roy, Thomas Uri. We have a range of multi-classifications here, and we've got a range of categories from S6 through to S13. As mentioned earlier, it's done by the point system to get through to tonight's final. So they'll be all looking to post quick times to ensure they get the highest number of points. And leading the way here in lane number 4, Luke Reason from Cockermouth. He touches there in 101.13 to get 712 points. Currently the leader in heat number 1. But as we said earlier, it doesn't matter about the time, it's about the points. So currently, as we and it is a Luke Reason with Cockermouth with the official results with 712 points, Arthur Morley from Fareham with 534, and Jackson Simmons from City of Peterborough in 527.
We move on to the penultimate heat of this event, heat number 2. In heat number 2 then, swimming in lane number 1, it's the Gosport swimmer Dominic Redpath. Lane 2, City of Newport's Ellis Underwood. Lane 3 from Shrewsbury, Tom Piggott. Lane 4, Know the Centurions, Benjamin Fouston. Lane 5, Swim Trafford's Craig McNeil. Lane 6, swimming for Croydon Amphibians, Ludacy Adolphson. Lane 7 from Portsmouth Northsea, Alexander Goodman. And in lane 8 from the Stowe School, William Perry. So the highest points score so far is 712 points. That's from our 28-year-old in the previous heat, S9 category swimmer, Luke Reeson. He swims for the Cockermouth Club. And we have a range of categories from S6 through to S13 in heat number 2. But Nova Centurions Benjamin Fouston will touch home first in a time of 1 minute .55. That's a new personal best time for him. Congratulations, Benjamin. He currently has the highest points in this heat at the moment with 593. But we are waiting on some other swimmers to finish as they come in very fast, digging in deep in the outside lanes. Alexander Goodman's going to touch in the next meters. He does. And William Perry is coming into his last 5 meters. Please put your hands together for all of our swimmers in heat number 2. So the highest points in heat number 2 is Benjamin Fouston from S10 Nova Centurions in 593 points. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to the final heat of event 303, the men's multi-classification 100 meters freestyle, heat number 3. In heat number 3, swimming in lane 1, representing Shrewsbury, Riley Shanahan. In 2, representing Ealing, Aaron Maddox. Lane 3, representing Preston, Jamie Warriner. Lane 4, swimming for Preston, Jack Bridge. In lane 6, representing Gloucester, Daniel Bennett. Lane 7, representing the Isle of Man, Benjamin Granger. And in lane 8, representing Stowmarket, Finley Middleton. So heat number 3 will have seen Luke Reeson from Cockermouth in heat number 1 get 712 points. Next highest point scorer was Benjamin Fouston in the previous heat with 593. And so they'll be looking to post quick times to get the highest number of points to ensure they get through to tonight's final. And leading the way is Jack Bridge of Preston as he comes in to take heat number 3. He gets the number of points 611 points about the time. And still ensure, please do cheer on all our swimmers as they come into the last 5 meters now. Jack Bridge of Preston leading the way with 611 points, but we still got a swimmer coming in. It could all change. But it is Jack Bridge in lane number 4 representing Preston, who has the highest number of points in heat number 3 with 611.
So it's all hotting up there out in Kazan at the World Championships And our British women are 7th fastest into tonight's 4x200 meters freestyle. Andrew Willis is 2nd fastest into tonight's semi-finals for the 200 meters breaststroke. And Molly Renshaw just missing out on her 200 meters breaststroke, just missing the semi-final by 0.41 of a second. So it's going really well out there in Kazan. If you want to tweet, make sure you do tweet them at British Swimming. You can also tweet us at hashtag ASA Nat 2015. We welcome onto poolside. The next heat will be heat number 1 of event 304, the Women's Open 100 meters freestyle. Heat number 1. So the women's 100 meters freestyle, we have 7 heats in this event. And our 12 and 13-year-olds kick it up for us in heat number 1. Lane 3, swimming for the City of Peterborough, is Anna Blakely. Lane 4 from the City of Leeds, Tia Ward. And lane 5 from Stockport Metro, Rebecca Pearson. Now, Tia Ward really has had a fantastic meet this week. Some of our guys spoke to her and she hasn't been feeling too great leading up to this meet, but wow, what a difference a little bit of competition does, as she has set personal best times in every event that she's entered so far. But it is going to be Rebecca Pearson trying to come back at Tia Ward and Anna Blakely, but Anna Blakely has about half a body length up on any of her rivals. She went 29.40. That's a great halfway split by her. Her personal best is 62.63. If she beat that, she does indeed. She touches home in a 61.35. Great swim by her. Second place goes to Tia Ward in a 62.13, and the third place a Stockport Metro swimmer, Rebecca Pearson, in a 62.64. Those results are official and they can be viewed on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 2. On to heat number 2 in lane 1, representing Aquasulis, Florence Ball. Lane 2, swimming for the City of Sheffield, Alice Thickett. In 3, representing Modernians, Ayana Lawson. In 4, swimming for Pioneer 79, Elodie Smallwood. In 5, swimming for the City of Liverpool, Holly White. In 6, representing Preston, Elizabeth Woodcock. In 7, swimming for the Isle of Man, Emma Hodgson. And in 8, swimming for Copeland, Rebecca Wilson. And we've got a mixture of 13 and 14-year-olds in this heat. But as we turn here, it is a Holly White, City of Liverpool, 29.51. They're 0.11 slower than the previous heat, but these girls are very much in a line here. Probably lane number 5. Holly White is just edging ahead on her shoulder, though, in lane 4, Elodie Smallwood of Pioneer 79. As we come into the last 5 meters now, it's these two girls in the center alongside lane 2, Alice Thickett. And taking heat number 2, it is Alice Thickett of City of Sheffield in a time of 61.71. Second there, Holly White of City of Liverpool in 61.72, so just 0.01 behind Alice. And then third, Elodie Smallwood of Pioneer 79 in 61.86. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 3. Heat number 3 in lane 0, representing Winsford, Alicia Hawkins. Lane 1 from the City of Sheffield, Lyndon Davis. And lane 2 from Mount Kelly, Kaylee Decker. Lane 3 also from Mount Kelly, Lauren Hession. Lane 4 from the Borough of Barnsley, Libby Turner. Lane 5 from UEA Norwich, Charlotte Walker. Lane 6 from the City of Coventry, Madeline Hoare. Lane 7 from Modernians, Chloe Lentz. Lane 8 from Wigan Best, Ellie Molyneux. And Lane 9 from Bromley, Imogen Mears. 29.26, I can tell you that's 3/10 quicker than any swimmer we've seen so far. We have a real mixture here of 13 and 14-year-olds. And Kaylee Decker and Lauren Hessian work all year round, and then they come up to Sheffield and they swim next to each other. Let's hope that's bringing them to personal best times. So just slightly ahead at the moment, that is Laura Hessian from her teammate, Kaylee Decker, who's going to touch home first. These girls will lead the way. What fantastic swimming that is. 60.21 and 60.42 for the Mount Kelly swimmers. Lauren Hessian just touching home first, followed very closely by Kaylee Decker. And the City of Sheffield swimmer, Lyndon Davison, taking that third position in 60.68. Those results are now official, and it's great to see the swimmers giving each other a great big hug in the water and huge smiles. Please put your hands together for all of the ladies in heat number 3.
We move on to heat 4. On to heat number 4, swimming in lane 0, representing Newquay, Jemima Grigg. In 2, representing Grantham, Molly Colbert. In 3, swimming for Newbury, Molly Dummett. In 4, representing Richmond, Hannah Rye. In 5, swimming for Milfield, Olivia Hulcox. In 6, swimming for Havant and Waterlooville, Ilana Ward. In 7, swimming for Shrewsbury, Lucy Armitage. In 8, representing Royal Wolverhampton School, Alicia Dingle. And in 9, representing Salisbury, Honolulu Taiwu. And at the halfway mark, it's Olivia Hawcox of Millfield. Split time there, 28.46. She's the only swimmer to go sub 29 so far. And she's about a body length ahead of the rest of the field. Olivia being 15 years of old, but we have some 13-year-olds in here too. We've got 4 13-year-olds who will have seen Kaylee Decker go 60.42 in the previous heat. Going well in lane number 9 is Honolulu Tuwu of Salisbury, but it is Olivia Hawcox of Millfield who touches their 59.88, the only swimmer so far to go sub 60 in this 100 meters freestyle. Second there, Honolulu Taiwu from Salisbury in 60.32, and third, Molly Colbert from Grantham in 60.93. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 5. Heat number 5, then in the water. This is the first of our cyclically seeded heats, and in lane 0, swimming for Wandsworth is Maya Dunleavy. Lane 1, swimming for Reeking College, Holly Townsend. Lane 2, from the City of Coventry, is Leah Gowing. Lane 3, swimming for Teddington, Zoe Bozzard-Hill. Lane 4, representing the City of Sunderland, Freya Rayner. Lane 5, from Plymouth Leander, Emily Corrie. Lane 6, from the City of Sunderland, Emma Castle. Lane 7 from Newcastle, Nina Holguin. Lane 8 from the City of Liverpool, Emily Spencer. And in lane 9 from Staines, Tiffany Parson. 27.87, that is our fastest split so far. Now these ladies range between 14 and 19 years of age, but as expected in the middle lane, it is City of Sunderland swimmer Freya. Freya has a personal best time of 58.87. She's going to be inside that just by 3/10. Fantastic swim by her. 58.56 then for Freya Rayner from the City of Sunderland. She touches home first. Leah Gowan from the City of Coventry touches home second in a 59.08. And Zoe Buzzard-Hill, 59.37 from the Teddington squad. Great swimming there, and those results are now official.
We move on to Heat 6. Onto the penultimate heat, heat number 6 in lane 0, swimming for Chelsea and Westminster, Zoe Smith. Lane 1, swimming for City of Milton Keynes, Lucy Farmer. In 2, representing Basildon Phoenix, Rihanna Smith. In 3, swimming for the City of Peterborough, Molly Allen. In 4, swimming for Borough of Waltham, Amrita Robertson. In 5, representing City of Leicester, Emily Crane. In 6, swimming for Guildford City, Danielle Benn. In 7, representing City of Derby, Sarah Cross. In 8, representing Burnley Bobcats, Ellie Taylor. And in 9, swimming for Hillingdon, Kiara Barber. And turning first there, Emily Crane. Split time 27.79. Point is 0.8 faster than Freya Rayner in the previous heat, and she's about half a body length ahead of lane number 4 alongside Amrita Robinson, who won the 200 metres freestyle early in these championships. And so we come into the touch, it is Emily Crane of City of Leicester who takes in a time of 58.31. That's the fastest time so far. Second there, Amrita Robertson, 58.85. And third, Rihanna Smith from Basildon Phoenix in 59.53. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
We move on to the final heat then. It is heat number 7. So the final heat then is in the water and swimming in lane 0 from Plymouth Leander, Imogen McCalman. Lane 1 from Camden Swiss Cottage and Natalia Kazmachik. Lane 2 from the City of Milton Keynes, Isabel Jones. Lane 3 from Barnet Copthorpe, Lena Sulas. Lane 4 from Woking, Hazel Ferguson. Lane 5 from the City of Guildford, Georgia Smith. Lane 6 from Chelsea and Westminster, Chloe Close. Lane 7 from Wolverhampton, Courtney Price. Lane 8 from Northampton, Sarah Branch. And in lane 9 from Hartlepool, Katie LeBourne. 27.45, that is 3/10 quicker than any time we've had so far. Previous heat then, that was won in a 58.31. And as expected, our centre lanes are trying to battle it out to touch home first. These two ladies in the centre lanes, they are 17 years of age. They want lane 4. But I can tell you, Hazel Ferguson's going to get that middle lane in tonight as she touches home first from Woking in a 58.11. Coming back very strongly at her was Guildford City's Georgia Smith, 58.30, and Lena Sulas from Barnet Copthorpe in a 58.85. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. A summary of that event. The women's 100 freestyle is now shown on the scoreboard. So we've been going crazy here on hashtag ASA Nat 2015. And Leslie Bates tells me that it is Judy Shaw's birthday. She's here to cheer on Chloe Bates in the 200 metres breaststroke. So happy birthday to Judy and good luck to Chloe. Melissa Pugh, she says, good luck to Lucy Armitage. You're amazing. I'm so proud to call you my best friend. Oh, that's beautiful, that is. Prescott, they say good luck to our 17 and overs as men's relay team at the Nationals today. Make sure that you do tweet us, and remember, the more inspirational tweets you can have coming through, we promise we'll read as many as we can.
We move on to event 305, the men's 200 metres butterfly. There are 8 heats. Heat number 1. In heat number 1, swimming in lane 0, representing Kingston and Hull, Alexander Everson. In 1, swimming for Basildon Phoenix, Mason Hunnisett. In 2, swimming for City of Sheffield, Samuel Sully. In 3, swimming for Hillingdon, Sean Patrick McGowan. In 4, representing City of Birmingham, Luke Skelding. In 5, swimming for Winsford, Finn Armett. In 6, from Thanet Swim, Kieran Dale. In 7, swimming for City of Coventry, Ronnie Harvey. In lane 8, swimming for Alton and District, William Ellington. And in 9, representing City of Leeds, Matthew Enright. We've all got 12 to 13 years age group in this heat number 1. And turning first here was Sean Patrick McGowan of Hillingdon, and a time of 31.85. But going well in lanes 7 and 8 is Ronnie Harvey of City of Coventry and William Ellington in the outside lanes.
So we come into the halfway mark, a really tough event this is. And most of these swimmers would have swum throughout the first 2 days. 68.64 is the standard set so far. That is from Basildon Phoenix swimmer Mason Hunnisett. Mason is coached by Doug Campbell, and he has had a fantastic meet here so far. A number of these swimmers making finals and swimming personal best times. But coming back at Mason is our swimmers behind. They're slowly trying to crawl back on his shoulder. Swimming in lane number 8 from Alton and District, William Ellington having a great third 50 here. Keep an eye on how many butterfly kicks these boys do out of the turn, as that tends to give you a little bit of an indication of how fresh they are coming into their last 50 meters. 147.82 is where we are at the 150 mark. And I can tell you, Jenny, these boys leading out are on for personal best times.
These are amazing swims, especially from the outside lanes, but really creeping up in this final 25 metres. Lane number 2, Samuel Sealer from City of Sheffield. As we come into the last 15 metres now, leading the way over in lane number 8 is William Ellington of Alton and District. But coming and chasing him down as we come into the last 5 metres, City of Sheffield's Samuel Sealer really coming into touch, and it will be Samuel Sealer in lane number 2 from City of Sheffield, who takes heat number 1 in a time of 2:27.99. Second there, William Ellington in lane number 8 from Alton and District, 2:28.86. And third there, Mason Hunnisett from Basildon Phoenix in 2:28.94. The official results are now on the scoreboard.
Heat number 2. We dive into heat number 2. There are 8 heats of this event, and in lane 0, heat number 2 from Leinster, Ethan Motard. Lane 1 from the Enfield squad, Oscar Soulis. Lane 2 from the City of Leicester, Jack Dolly. Lane 3 from Wickham District, Timur Gillian. Lane 4 from the City of Salford, Ewan Wilson. Lane 5 from Northampton, Jack Buswell. Lane 6 from Munster, Jeremy O'Connor. Lane 7 from Bournemouth Collegiate, Jack Arnold. Lane 8 from Deepings, Tom Adams. And in lane 9 from Romford Town, Lewis Binnin. These boys range between 12 and 14 years of age. Tom Adams having a great meet so far. He swims out there in lane number 8. And the 50-metre mark was 30.10. That is the new standard. That was Timur Gillian from Wickham District in lane 3, and he has about half a body length up on his nearest rival at the halfway mark.
And at the turn, it is Timur Gillian who is leading the way, 66.91, just 2/100ths of a second quicker than Jack Buswell of Northampton in lane number 5. And it is Jack who's now putting in a storming third length as he is now taking the lead, about half a body length ahead of Timur in lane 3. Also going well in lane number 6, Jeremy O'Connor from Munster. And also watch out for lane 0, Ethan Murtagh from Leinster, who's going well on the far side of the pool. And the final turn here is lane number 5, Jack Buswell from Northampton. 1:44.82. That's exactly 3 seconds faster than the previous heat at that split.
And if these boys can keep going, they'll be on for around 2:24s, 2:25s, which will be a great improvement from their personal best times. A mixture of 12 to 14-year-olds in this heat. But look at what's happening in lane number 5. This is some great swimming here. He breathes on every single stroke, interestingly enough. Let's see if he keeps his head down in the last 5. Not to be. He does indeed, actually, as he touches home on a 2:22.34. 2:22.34 for the Northampton swimmer. Jack Buswell, coached by Jackie Marshall. Great swim from him. Out there in lane 0. Brilliant swim for Leinster's Ethan Murtagh in a 2:26.28. And the third place, the Bournemouth Collegiates, Jack Arnold in a 2:28.41. The results for heat number 2 are confirmed as official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat 3. In heat number 3, swimming in lane 0, representing Kingston and Hull, Joe Besteo-Taylor. In 1, representing City of Birmingham, Oliver Lillycrop. In 2, swimming for Watford, Harrison Lees. In 3, swimming for Epsom District, Spencer Gall. In 4, swimming for City of Leicester, James Newman. In 5, representing Royal Wolverhampton School, Samuel Harris. In 6, representing Munster, Aaron Carroll. In 7, swimming for Mid-Beds, James McFarlane. In 8, representing Ealing, Samuel Thornton. And completing the lineup in 9, from Romford Town, James Cooper. And at 50 metres, the fastest split there, James McFarlane from Mid-Beds, 30.08. That was 2/100ths of a second faster than the previous heat. Also going well in lane number 3, Spencer Gull from Epsom. And these 2 boys are streaming ahead, but coming back at them now at the halfway mark. Lane number 5, Samuel Harris.
But it is Spencer Gall from Epsom District, 65.20. That's 1.7 seconds faster than the previous heat. So if these boys can keep it up, they are looking for around 2:21 mark. Keep an eye, though, in James Cooper in Romford Town, out in lane number 9, as he won the gold medal for the 12-13 years in the 100 metres butterfly. But at the moment, with the 150 mark, then it is lane 3. That's Epsom's District's Spencer Gall. He swims in our 14-year category as an entry time of 2:25.48. He turns in a 1:43.28, and I can tell you that's 1.6 seconds faster than the previous heat. So we are looking at 2:21s, 2:20 points here if we can bring our boys home.
But coming back very strongly after his fastest split in the first 50, James McFarland over in lane number 7, really picking up the pace as he comes into the last 20 metres now. Alongside him currently in second place, lane number 5, Samuel Harris from Royal Wolverhampton School, and vying for that third place position in lane 8, it's Samuel Thornton of Ealing, and it is James McFarland, after his storming lead at the beginning, takes heat number 3 in a time of 2:20.73. Second place there goes to Samuel Harris from Royal Wolverhampton School, 2:22.64. And third over in lane 8 from Ealing, Samuel Thornton in a time of 2:24.76. And James McFarland's time of 2:20.73 is now the time to beat for the 14 years age group. Got the rest of the 14-year-olds coming up in heat number 4. Alongside Edward Mildred, who's 12, and Sean Scannell of 13 years. The official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 3.
And we move on now to heat number 4. So in this heat just coming up, we are expecting to see some fast times from our 12 and 13-year-olds. We have 3 of those left in this event, and that's going to be Hugh Williams in lane number 1, Edward Mildred in lane 3, and Sean Scannell in lane number 5. These boys got places in the 100 metres. Sean Scannell getting 4th. And Edward Mildred getting 5th. So these boys will want to get into tonight's final, as will the rest of our 14-year-olds that are just about to swim. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the louder you shout, the faster they will swim. So let's get behind all of our swimmers as we are just moments away of starting heat number 4. So we have a tweet from my friend John Dougal. He says, great start for Flossie Ball with a personal best time in her 100-metre freestyle. She narrowly misses out on the final, but nonetheless a great effort. So well done to Flossie Ball. I love that name. Worcester, they say that Becky is the second fastest swim ever with a 1:10.51 in the 100 free and 9th highest MC point score. Well done, Becky. Alex Pinniger says that Charlotte starts their day with a solid personal best time in her 100 metres freestyle, and she's 5th through to tonight's final. So well done to Charlotte. Good luck for tonight's final. So we're ready to start heat number 4. Heat number 4 are finally in the water then. These boys having to wait a little round, but this will be good because it tests their nerves. Lane 0 then, Guildford City's Ben Rowett. Lane 1, Millfield's Hugh Williams. 2, Middlesbrough's George Crawford. Lane 3, swimming for Northampton, Edward Mildred. 4, from Tynemouth, Elliot Snowden. Lane 5, from Linstead, Sean Scannell. Lane 6, swimming for the City of Leeds, Samuel Wardle. Lane 7, from Southport, Joseph Niven. Lane 8, from Newcastle, Mario Conman. And in lane 9, Joshua Harris for Nova Centurion. 29.89, that's the first swimmer under 30 seconds. That's Elliot Snowden, but do keep an eye on our 12 and 13-year-olds. Remember, they are Sean Scannell, Edward Mildred and Hugh Williams. But coming in with just 15 metres go by a 3 body lengths up from their nearest rival. It is the swimmer in lane number 4. That's Elliot Snowden. Keep your head down, Elliot, and touch in. Great technique there as he touches home in a 1:04.06 at the halfway mark, 1:04.06. He's got just under 100 metres to go. And I can tell you 1:04.06 will put him in for a great personal best time if he can keep this going. Great to see these boys trying different tactics in the 200-metre mark.
Currently lying in second place in lane number 6, Samuel Wardle of City of Leeds. Going well in lane number 2, though, George Crawford from Middlesbrough, who's also going alongside him in lane 1. Hugh Williams, our 13-year-old, vying for that 3rd place finish in this heat. And at the 150 mark. It is Elliot Snowden leading the way still, 140.15. Good 3 seconds faster than the previous heat, and he's a good 5 meters ahead of current second place, who's currently in second place, lane number 6, as Samuel Wardle City leads.
And we expect Elliot to be ahead because he is 15 years of age. The rest of our boys 14 and 12 and 13. Elliot has a personal best time of 2:21. He will go underneath that by a long shot. Show your appreciation then to your winner of heat number 4, 2:17.24. Great swimming for him. Samuel Wardle then touches home in second place in 2:19.57. And our 13-year-old takes the third place in heat number 4, Hugh Williams, Millfield, in a 2:23.12. The results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 5. In heat number 5 is swimming in lane 0, representing Swim Trafford, Alistair Stout. Lane 1, swimming for Plymouth Leander, Sean Gray. In 2, representing Barnet Copthall, Thomas Cheng. In 3, representing Hatfield, Benjamin Garrett. Lane 4, from Northampton, Matthew Ridgman. In 5, swimming for Chelsea and Westminster, Christy Moon. In 6, swimming for City of Manchester Aquatics, Tom Robinson. In 7, representing Bishop Stortford, Callum Davis. In 8, swimming for Mount Kelly, Thomas Brew. And in 9, representing Barking-Dagan, Liam Doherty Hill. And after the 50-meter split, it's Mount Kelly's Thomas Brew leading the way at 29.52. That's 0.37 of a second faster than Elliot Snowden in the previous heat. Both of those boys 15 years old. Actually, all of our boys in this heat are 15 years old. And so as they come into the halfway mark, it is Thomas Brew leading the way.
So 4 boys going under 30 points at the 50-meter mark. That's great swimming. And Thomas Brew from Mount Kelly turning halfway at 62.83. I can tell you, if he keeps this up, he will annihilate his personal best time. All of these boys are 15 years of age, and they've just seen Elliot Snowden go 2:17.24. And I can tell you, if they keep this up, they will be around the 2:15. Our winner will be around the 2:15 mark. So we need to get behind them as they come into the 150. They'll be going around a 1:38 at the 150 mark. Our leader should hit the wall and around a 1:38. They do that. 1:38.59 for Thomas Brew. I believe his dad may be the coach. Rob Brew cheering on his son from Mount Kelly as they come into the last 25 metres.
And chasing Thomas down is lane number 5, Christy Moon of Chelsea and Westminster. And he looks like he's just taken the lead as we have 20 metres to go. Currently vying for that third place finish in heat number 5 is lane 6, Tom Robinson of City Manchester Aquatics. And it is Christy Moon who's leading the way as he comes onto the flags to take heat number 5 in a time of 2:14.22. Second goes to Mount Kelly, Thomas Brew, who led from the beginning 2:16.10. And then third there, Tom Robinson from City of Manchester Aquatics in 2:16.67. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 5.
So we move on to the first of our cyclically seeded heats, heat number 6. Heat number 6 in lane 0, swimming for Portsmouth North Sea, Dominic Johnson. Lane 2 from Team Mercia, David Broadbent. Lane 2 from Munster, Caden McCarthy. Lane 3 from Warrington Warriors, Aaron Kirchin-Brown. Lane 4 from the Rushmere Rolls, George Emmons. Lane 5 from Thanet Swim, Ben Evans. Lane 6 from Warrington Warriors, Aaron Hill. Lane 7 from Wolverhampton, Matthew Holland. Lane 8 from Middlesbrough, Scott Jenkinson. And in Lane 9 from Kingston Roll, Dylan Conway. Fastest split so far in this event is 27.18. That's Wolverhampton swimmer Matthew Holland. And that is the fastest split by 2.2 seconds. So remember, these are cyclically seeded heats. So our third gentleman on paper in terms of fastest time is George Emmons. He's in lane number 4. He needs to set the standard if he wants to get one of those middle lanes. 60.58 then, Jenny, for Matthew Holland, and out there in lane number 7.
But he is getting chased down by the centre 4 lanes, and also going well in lane number 1, David Broadbent of Team Mercia, but coming back extremely strongly in the centre lane, lane number 4, George Emmons. As you said, Sarah, he's the third. His entry time is the third fastest into this event. And as he comes to the 150 mark, it is George Emmons. His time there, 1:34.49. Good underwater work from him too. He's now body length ahead of the rest of the field. Centre 4 lanes now. Clear water ahead of them.
So we're looking around the 2:10 mark for these boys, 2:09, 2:10, and that will be dead on their personal best times. As we come in to the last 10 metres then, it is Ben Evans trying to catch up to George Emmons, but George Emmons has it now from Aaron Hill. He is going to get it on the touch. A very long stroke by George Emmons. He has a lot left in the tank there. 2:08.64, 2:08.64. I say he's got a lot left in the tank, but that is faster than his entry time, so great swimming by him. Second place goes to Warrington Warriors swimmer Aaron Hill in a 2:08.89, and Aaron Kirchin-Brown, also from Warrington Warriors, touches home in a 2:09.25, and those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 7. Onto the penultimate heat, and in lane 0, representing Southport, Paolo Moniz. In 1, swimming for Stockport Metro, Samuel Goldrick. In 2, representing Littlehampton, William Jagger. In 3, swimming for Dulwich Dolphins, Reese Ormonde Cunningham. In 4, swimming for Team Ipswich, Regan Lloyd. In 5, representing Guildford City, Rian Stein. In 6, swimming for City of Milton Keynes, Oliver Lines. In 7, representing City of Hereford, Kovas Oosthuizen. In 8, swimming for Munster, Finn McGeever. And in 9, representing Ealing, Miles Clark. 50-metre split there, Regan Lloyd leading the way, 28.66. 0.7 of a second slower than the previous heat, Matthew Holland, who'd led out in heat number 6. Coming to the halfway mark now, it is lane 5, Rian Stein, who's taken the lead. 61.19, their split there, just about a second slower than the previous heat.
I absolutely love races like this, where every single lead turns and every single lead changes on each leg of this 200 metres butterfly. And in lane 2, that is William Jager from Littlehampton. He now looks to be the strongest swimmer in heat number 7. Very, very different technique there as he breathes slightly to his left-hand side. If he carries on with this breathing pattern, he will not be able to see the swimmers as they come down to the last 50. But that is a 1:34.78, so these swimmers are on for a 2:08.209. 1:34.78 for the swimmer in lane number 2, William Jagger.
And Sarah, you said he was breathing to the left, but he's now breathing to the right to ensure he can see the swimmers in the central lanes. And lane number 5, Rian Stein, is leading the way. Body length ahead now as he comes into the last 10 metres. Will the other two be able to chase them down? It's lane number 4, Regan Lloyd. who's kind of vying for a second place, but it is Rian Stein from Guildford City who takes heat number 7 in at 2:08.32. Fastest time so far. Second there, Regan Lloyd from Team Ipswich, 2:09.74. And third, Oliver Lyons for City of Milton Keynes, 2:13.25. And so those times set so far, 2:08 by the previous heat 6 and heat 7. And so heat number 8, our final heat, will be looking to post quicker times to ensure central lanes for tonight's final. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 7.
So we move on to the final heat, heat number 8. Final heat then of the men's open 200 metres butterfly in lane 0, swimming for Gloucester, William Carter. Lane 1 from the City of Manchester Aquatics, Oliver Hooton. Lane 2 from Plymouth Leander, Frederick Conwell. Lane 3 from West Suffolk, Alec Profit. Lane 4 swimming for the City of Sheffield, Callum North. Lane 5 from Plymouth Leander, Daniel Jones. Lane 6 from Wrekin College, William Slawson. Lane 7 from Coandon Swiss Cottage, Alex Pantelli. Lane 8 for Wickham District, Benjamin Goldfinch. And lane 9 from Aqua Sulis, Henry Dixon. So this is our last heat, and our fastest swimmer on paper is a 19-year-old Callum North. He swims for the City of Sheffield and has a personal best time of 2:07.51. He turns in a 27.12. That's the fastest split by 6/100ths of a second. But Plymouth Leander's Daniel Jones, a great second 50 here. He turns in a 59.16. That's the fastest time so far this morning.
And these two boys in the centre lanes are really streaking ahead of the rest of the field. Body length ahead now of lane number 2. Frederick Cornwall, also Plymouth Leander swimmer. Also going well alongside him in lane number 3, though, Alex Profit from West Suffolk. We've got a range of ages here from 15 years old, Henry Dixon from Aqua Sulis over in lane number 9, through to Daniel Jones, 22 years old for Plymouth Leander. And final turn here, lane number 4, Callum Naughty now taking the lead, 1:32.92. Now he's very good turn from him, body length ahead of Plymouth Leander's Daniel Jones as we come into the last 25 metres.
And the City of Sheffield swimmer Callum North is on for a new personal best time. If he can keep this up, he will go around a 2:06 point, which is great heat swimming here. But the battle is on for the minor places in this heat. We have one 15-year-old out there in lane 9, but touching first, it is going to be the City of Sheffield's 2:07.11 for Callum North, 2:07.11. That is the fastest time this morning. Great swimming by him. A joint second place to Wrekin Collins, William Slawson, and West Suffolk's Alex Profit in a 2:09.64. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all of our boys in every single heat of the men's 200 metres butterfly. The official results of that heat can be seen on the scoreboard. Summary of that event will be displayed on the scoreboard for the men's 200 metres butterfly.
And the next event is event 306, the women's 200 metres breaststroke. There are 10 heats. Heat number 1. So we're on to heat number 1 and swimming in lane 3. Representing St. Felix School, Jennifer Beaver. In lane 4, swimming for Shrewsbury, Kate Grindley. And completing the lineup in lane 5, swimming for Basingstoke, Daisy Moore. Taking an early lead here in lane number 4, Kate Grindley of Shrewsbury. She turns first at 50 metres with a time of 37.67. She's got about half a body length ahead of lane number 5, Daisy Moore from Basingstoke. And she's just extending her lead now, about a body length ahead as we come up to 100 metres.
A lovely formation of spearhead now happening in the pool. Kate Grindley then, she's 19 years of age, and Daisy and Jennifer are 18 years of age. At the halfway mark, 122.29. Quite a difficult race to swim, the 200 metres breaststroke. Have to be very tactical, and a real big difference of stroke rates you will see between the 200 and the 100. This is probably most evident in a breaststroke race, but starting to come back and make her move is Jennifer Beaver. Jennifer has an entry time of 2:54, although these ladies will go faster than that, which makes me think that these entry times may be short course times.
At the final turn, there is Kate Grindley still leading the way. She's led from the beginning, 2:08.39. Currently now into second place, Jennifer Beaver of St. Felix School. And with just 25 metres to go, they'll be really look to come home now and kick hard as they come through to the 200 metre mark. And it's lane number 5, Daisy Moore, really picking up the pace. She's on Kate Grindley's shoulder, but Kate has led from the beginning, so want to hold on to her lead in the last 5 metres now as she comes in to take heat number 1 in a time of 2:54.45. Second there, Daisy Moore from Basingstoke, 2:55.14. And third, Jennifer Beaver of St. Felix School in 2:55.86. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
And we move on to heat number 2. In the heat number 2, swimming in lane 1, Wirral Metro's Grace Goodman. Lane 2 from the Nova Centurion Club, Holly McGarver. Lane 3 from Romford Town, Jessica Ainley. And lane 4 swimming for Hatfield, Lauren Baker. Lane 5 from Lincoln Vulcans, Grace Wilson. Lane 6 from Bicester, Tabitha Watkins. Lane 7 for Swindon Dolphins, Charlotte Gardo. And in lane 8 for Barking and Dagenham, Samaya Shabney. So a real mixture of ages in heat number 2, ranging from 13 years of age through to 20. And ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know that any times that you see are 50-metre times that they've achieved, as we are not accepting any converted times for this meet. So all their entry times will be 50-metre times. And a 36.26 from the Bicester swimmer Tabitha Watkins. Tabitha just 13 years of age, and she will have to pick up the steam if she wants to make tonight's final, as we have a number of 12 and 13-year-olds later on in our heats. We have a whole 10 heats of this event, but a great halfway mark then by Tabitha Watkins. She turns in a 1:18.60. 4 seconds faster than the previous heat. So we are looking around a 250 point here for these ladies if they can pick up the pace.
And Tabitha is a body length ahead of lane number 7, Charlotte Gardo of Swindon Dolphins, but having a very strong push here in lane number 3, Jessica Ailing of Romford Town in the pink hat in the central lane. Also going well alongside her, lane number 5, Grace Wilson of Lincoln Vulcans. They'll be looking to chase down Tabitha's lead as we come into the final 50. And at the 150 mark, Tabitha Watkins leads the way, 2:02.51. They were a good 6 seconds quicker than the previous heat at that split. And she's starting to each even further ahead. Now Clearwater ahead of lane number 7, Charlotte Gardo, who lies in second place.
So Tabitha is looking to go under 250, which will be a great barrier to break. But coming back at her on every single stroke is the Swindon Dolphin swimmer, Charlotte Gardo. Charlotte Gardo is 19 years of age, Tabitha Watkins 13 years of age. And here comes the Hatfield swimmer, Lauren Baker. But into the last 5 then, a lovely technical stroke from the swimmer in lane number 6. That's Bista's Tabitha Watkins, 2:46.95. That's a great personal best time by the 13-year-old. Charlotte Gardo, Swindon Dolphins, 2:49.72, touches home in second. And out there in lane number 8, touching home in 2:51.62 is Samaya Shablani from Barking and Dagenham. Great results there, and they are official, and they can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 3. Into heat number 3, swimming in lane 0, representing South Bournemouth, Abigail Manns. In 1, swimming Thorpe Northampton, Kate Durno. In 2, representing South Dorset, Rebecca Beale. In 3, swimming the City of Peterborough, Sophie Grother. In 4, swimming for Doncaster Darts, Finley Dukes. In 5, representing Nova Centurion, Lauren Anderson. In 6, swimming for Rushmore Royals, Neve Barnes. In 7, swimming for Team Mercia, Isabel Colohan. In 8, representing Eastern Victor, Lucy Hose. And in 9, representing Royal Wolverhampton School, Emily Bate. After 50 metres there, the fastest split, 37.35 from Lucy Hose in lane number 8. That's a second slower than Tabitha Watkins in the previous heat. Also going well in lane number 5, Lauren Anderson of Nova Centurion. These two girls are leading the way, about body length ahead of the rest of the field now as we come up to the halfway mark.
So it looks like we will have a new leader at the halfway mark. Oh, actually it is Lucy Howes, 1:19.95. Slightly slower than the previous heat. However, this is still great swimming as these ladies are still on to go under 250 mark. Got a mixture of ages in this event and in this heat, ranging from 13 through to 20 years of age. But at the moment, it is the swimmer from Nova Centurion, Lauren Anderson, really making her move now. The stroke rate extremely long and getting as much water underneath, being grabbed by those palms and brought round. A lovely technique as she looks to hit the wall exactly on. She does that in a 2:03.77. She is on to go under 250 here.
And going well alongside Lauren is Neve Barnes in lane number 6. But vying for that third place finish currently is between lane 4, Finley Dukes of Doncaster Darts, as well as lane number 7, Isabel Callahan. And they are really chasing down lane 8's Lucy Howes from Eastern Victor. Clearwater now between swimmers and lane number 5, Lauren Anderson. She's really stretched out in front and pushing hard as she comes into the last 5 meters. and it will be Lauren Anderson who takes heat number 3 in a time of 2:45.95. Second place there going to Lucy Howes of Eastern Victor in a time of 2:48.74, and third going to the Rushmore Royals swimmer Neve Barnes in 2:49.46. The official results are now on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 4. So heat number 4, swimming in lane 0 from Maxwell, Ruth Bridgman. Lane 1 from Millfield, Molly Thompson. Lane 2 from the Stockport Metro Club, Bridie Fenny. Lane 3 from the City of Leeds, Paris Grenier. Lane 4 from Ealing, Amy Shung. Lane 5, swimming for Stockport Metro, Rebecca Pearson. Lane 6 from the Nova Centurion Club, Holly May Dove. Lane 7 from Mid Beds, Charlotte Ashwin. Lane 8 from Guildford City, Ella Kenway. And in lane 9 from the City of Derby, Michaela Stephen.
Taking an early lead here, Ruth Bridgman from Maxwell over in lane 0. 36.49 her split there. Fastest split so far for the 18-year-old in lane 0, but we have a range of ages here. 2 12-year-olds, one in lane 3, Paris Grenier from City of Leeds, and also Holly May Dove from Nova Centurion in lane 6, alongside 2 13-year-olds here. But the fastest 12-year-old in entry time will go in heat number 8. That's Erin Davis for City of Birmingham. And as we come to the halfway mark now, it is Ruth Bridgman still leading the way out in lane 0. She touches now in a time of 1:19.47. 3 100s quicker than the previous heat, but going also well alongside her Molly Thompson of Millfield in lane number 1, and they're really pushing hard, and Ruth really is extending her lead here, body length ahead of the other girls, but also going well out in the outside lanes in lane 8 and 9, Ella Kenway from Guildford City and Michaela Stephen, as we come now into the last 75 metres.
So it's great to see these swimmers in the outside lanes really utilising this opportunity, maximising their potential to try and reach personal best times, not being phased by the outside lanes. And this is exactly what Ruth Bridgman is doing from Maxwell. She turns in a 2:02.55. That is 1.2 seconds faster than we've seen so far. So we are on for around a 2:43 mark, and that would be a large personal best from the swimmer in Maxwell. But here comes lane number 8, that's Ella Kenway. A real mixture here in this heat of 12 through to 19 years of age. We still have a number of 12 and 13-year-olds to come up again in the latter heats. But the lady in lane number 0, she's being hunted down, but I do think Ruth Bridgman has done enough to just hold down. She's coming into the last 5. Here comes Bridie Fanny, but she is going to get it on the touch. Oh no, she's just touched out. The Stockport Metro, Bridie Franey, 2:48.03. A great last 50 by her, 2:48.03. Our early leader from Maxwell, Ruth Bridgman, touches home second in a 2:48.05. And Guildford City, Ella Kenway, takes the third position in a 2:48.24. Those results are now official.
Heat 5. On to heat number 5, swimming in lane 0, representing City of Birmingham, Lily Wood. Lane 1, representing Servanside, Caitlin Lynham. In 2, swimming for Preston, Ellie Cameron. Lane 3, representing Millfield, Josie Searle. In 4, representing Bournemouth Collegiate, Charlotte James. In 5, swimming for Aquae Sulis, Stella Cookson. In 6, swimming for Tyndale, Madeline Duffy. In 7, representing Wigan Best, Charlotte Nestor. Lane 8, representing City of Leicester, Hannah White. And completing the lineup in 9-9, from Guildford City, Eva Munden.
So at the 50-metre mark, then it is Josie Searle from Millfield, 36.89. That's just 0.4 of a second slower than the previous heat. But we still have a good amount of time to see what these swimmers can do. As we come into the last 25 metres of the halfway point, and the Aqua Suli swimmer Stella Cookson really utilising this second 50. Quite a fast stroke rate for a 200-metre breaststroke. She's coached by John Dougal, and I'm sure John Dougal will be very impressed with her time so far at the 100-metre mark. She turns in a 1:18.52, and that really has made a difference, because that is our fastest split by 1.2 seconds so far. Now the Aqua Sulis lady, she is just 15 years of age, and we've still got 12 and 13-year-olds also in this race, as we do 14s. But there's still a lot of love coming in on Twitter, and Georgina Curtis says, good luck in your breaststroke to Charlotte Ashwin from Mid-Beds. Not only are you my teammate, but you're my best friend. Love you lots. Oh, we've got a lot of love here at the ASA Championships 2015 as we come up to the last turn.
And at the final turn there, Stella Cookson from Aqua Sulis leads the way at 2:04.06. That's 1.6 slower than the previous heat's Ruth Bridgman of Maxwell. And chasing her down over in lane number 8 is Hannah White of City of Leicester. As we have 25 meters to go, also going well in an outside lane, lane 0, Lily Wood of City of Birmingham. These outside lanes are really pushing hard in this 200 meters breaststroke heats. And these two girls are really coming back now. Lily Wood is chasing her down. They look like they will be overtaking. Is it going to be Lily Wood or Hannah White? As we come into the last few strokes now and down to the touch, it will be Lily Wood in lane 0 from City of Birmingham, who takes heat number 5 in a time of 2:47.88. Second there, Hannah White from City of Leicester, 2:48.24. And third, Stella Cookson from Aqua Sulis in 2:48.55. And the official is on the scoreboard, and congratulations to Lily Wood, who's 13 years of age, who took heat number 5 in 2:47.88.
And we move on to heat number 6. So we move on to heat number 6. In lane 0 from Everton, Amber Alford. Lane 1, swimming for Basingstoke, Molly Goffin. Lane 2 from the Kingston upon Hull team, Amy Corcoran. Lane 3, also from Kingston upon Hull, Alexandra Stringer. Lane 4 for Guildford City Club, Isabella Fackel. Lane 5 from the City of Manchester Aquatics, Katie Cherry. Lane 6 from City of Salford, Havana Lloyd. Lane 7, swimming for the City of Leeds, Eleanor Holcroft. Lane 8 from the City of Leicester, Michaela Glenister. And in lane 9 from the UEA Norwich team, Grace Leash. Fastest time then, 36.33. That is for Everton's Amber Alford. And these ladies maximising their time here at the ASA Championships to try and do as well as they can in those outside lanes. And I always feel sorry for teammates that come all of this way and they have to swim next to each other. But at least they know how to utilise each other and get the most out of this swimming.
And it is lane 0, Amber Alford, leading the way as we come down to the halfway mark. Going well, though, in lane number 3, Alexandra Stringer from Kingston and Hull, who's pulling alongside her. Lane number 4, Isabella Fackel from Guildford City. And at 100 metres, Amber Alford split there, 1:18.21. And there, she's the 18-year-old out in lane 0, but we've got a range from 12, Isabella Fackel, who is currently lying in 3rd or 2nd place and fighting for that 2nd place at the moment, alongside other 13, 14 and 15-year-olds. But the fastest 13-year-old time we saw already goes to Tabitha Watkins in heat number 2, 2:46.95. So these 12 and 13-year-olds will be looking to post a quick time to ensure they have a central lane in tonight's final.
So as we come into the last turn, it is still our swimmer in the outside lane, but she is being hunted down by our girls in the centre 2 lanes. Turning first then by a fingernail is Amber Alford, 2:02.50. Amber Alford then, she is 18 years of age. And we also have Isabella Fackel in lane number 4. She's just 12 years of age. We mentioned before the fastest time for our 12 and 13-year-olds was Tabitha Watkins, 2:46.95, all the way back in heat number 2. But as we come home then with 15 metres to go by a body length, it is Isabella Fackel, Guildford City. She's been hunted down by Alexandra Stringer. Amber Alford trying to hang on as Molly Goffin is coming back at her, but into the last 5. Let's see if these swimmers hit the wall well. Isabella Fackel does do that in a 2:45.34. 2:45.34. That is the fastest time by 0.6 of a second. And the second place goes to 2:46.49, Kingston upon Hull's Alexandra Stringer. And the third place to our early leader out in lane 0, Amber Alford from the Everton Club in 2:47.96. So it's great to see the young swimmers showing such maturity, holding back a little bit on that 100 and really utilising that third 50. That's exactly what Isabella Fackel did to take the fastest time. She had an entry time of 2:48.88 and then touched home in 2:45.34. Great swimming by her, and those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 7. Into heat number 7, swimming in lane 0, representing Northampton, Amy Lee. Lane 1, swimming for City of Leeds, Charlotte Gibbs. Lane 2, representing City of Bristol, Elizabeth Booker. In 3, representing City of Birmingham, Alexandra Bartley. In 4, representing UEA Norwich, Honey Harvey. In 5, swimming City of Leicester, Millie Scotchbrook. In 6, swimming for Southport, Victoria Dawson. In 7, representing Wigan Best, Katie Cooper. In 8, swimming for Guildford City, Amy Hodgson. And in lane 9, representing UEA Norwich, Akira Frosdick.
So 36.52 set by the Bristol swimmer Elizabeth Booker. Elizabeth is 14 years of age, and we still have 4 13-year-olds left in this heat. Charlotte Gibbs, Alexandra Bartley, Victoria Dawson and Akira Frosdick. We have Erin Davis in the next heat. She will be our last 12-year-old, 13-year-old. And so she'll be keeping a beady eye on what these ladies are doing if she wants to centre lane for tonight's final. But this lady in lane number 2, she has led from the start. She's increasing her lead now on the second length by about half a body length. She turns in a 1:18.49. 2/10 slower than what we've seen in the previous 2 heats, but this is where we've seen a lot of our ladies make their move. They really do start to increase the stroke rate on the third 50 as they try to put themselves into a great position and let the energy, the passion and the adrenaline bring them home on the last 50. But we have about 4 or 5 ladies in contention here as we come up to the 150 mark. And remember, we are looking at different age groups here as we have 13, 14s and 15-year-olds here. Fastest 250 split so far is a 2:02 we've got so far this morning. So that's slightly outside. No, it's not. It's 2:01.18. So we've seen the fastest time at 150. It's still Elizabeth Booker. The question is, can she hold on in that last 35 metres?
And as we're coming up to the last 25 metres now, she is really extending her lead, Elizabeth Booker from City of Bristol in lane number 2. And chasing down for a second and third place finish is lane number 4, Honey Harvey of UEA Norwich. She is catching up with Millie Scotchbrook, City of Leicester, in lane 5. But also going well in lane number 8 is Amy Hodgson from Guildford City. But way out in front, having led from the beginning, Elizabeth Booker from the City of Bristol takes heat number 7 in a time of 2:42.98. Second there goes to Amy Hodgson of Guildford City, 2:46.57. And third, Millie Scotchbrook from City of Leicester in 2:46.76. And 2:42.98 being the fastest time posted so far, and the official results are now on the scoreboard.
So we have got 3 more heats of this women's 200 metres breaststroke. They will be cyclically seeded. So remember that the middle lanes will be your fastest 3 swimmers on paper. If you've just joined us today and you would like to look at the swimmers' races again and again and again, you can do so by buying one of our USB pens. They're out on sale at the accreditation desk and just £10 each. Or you can buy 6 for £50. You can also buy 2, 3, 4 and 5 if you like. But the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes. You can buy 1 per day or get together with your friends. So those USB sticks out on sale at the reception area for just a very good bargain of £10. We've also bring you loads of information in our programmes. Give big insight about volunteering. If you want to get into volunteering, which I strongly suggest a lot of you do, as it's great fun and you get to have an insight of what happens behind the scenes and also out here on the pool deck. Remember, if it wasn't for our volunteers, these events would not run. So we do urge as many of you to get involved. And we do thank every single volunteer here this week as they give their time and effort at every single session. So just seeing what's happening on our hashtag ASA Nat 2015. Zara McKnight says, good luck to Dan, Toby, Ben and Ben in the free relay today. For Carlisle, you'll do great, she says, and swim fast. And a lot of pictures on that one. Jenny Hibbs says, good luck to Jack Sheffield, fast swimming. So we do wish him good luck. He's coming up. And Lincoln Vulcan says, steady start to proceedings on day number 3, but Grace Wilson was just 0.1 seconds off her personal best, but she is up to 14th. So she is hashtag feeling the holiday. So remember to grab your free, yes, that is free, daily newsletter out on the reception area. It will give you all of our top stories. We'll also tell you about the swimmer and club of the day, the volunteer of the day, and also ones to watch. But if you are over on the spectator side, by the door entrance, you'll see a couple of tables. Now, one of those tables is the ASA Anti-Doping Outreach Programme. And the lovely Maria Kerry is there with her team, and she'll be there every single warm-up to give you any advice that you would like about medication, what you should be and shouldn't be declaring, what you should and shouldn't be taking, and just generally give some advice on you as your swimmers progress through the rankings. So please do visit our guys on the Outreach Anti-Doping table out by the spectators area as you come in. We've also got the team from the iOS. They are the ACE program, that's the Advanced Apprenticeship for Sporting Excellence program. They are also there and would happily talk you through some opportunities if you would like to gain a qualification through swimming. So please do go and speak to them, as it's a fantastic opportunity to gain some qualifications through swimming. So our volunteer of the day was Craig Hunter yesterday. He's our referee all week, as Craig took some extra time to patiently explain to those who work on the media team how to use the new backstroke ledges. So thanks ever so much, Craig. We appreciate you doing that, because it is a new piece of equipment. You will see it later on today and the week, and we will give you a little bit of an insight of how they work when they are up and coming in front of us. Don't Don't forget, though, to download the free application on your mobile phones. That's 100% me. And that will also give you additional information about anti-doping. So you can just put 100% me in your search button on your application store.
Sarah, we've got another birthday today. City of Oxford Swim Club have tweeted us using the hashtag ASANat2015 and would like to give a shout out for City of Oxford boys in the relay and a special happy 16th birthday to James Oliver.
Fantastic. Happy birthday to you, James. I hope you've brought cake for everyone as we all get a little bit peckish in the afternoon.
And a reminder to all coaches, if you have any withdrawals for tomorrow's heats, tomorrow morning's heats, you must get your withdrawal forms down to the timing suite by 12 p.m. So that's an hour. You've got 1 hour to get your withdrawal forms for tomorrow's morning's heats into the timing suite. And we've got a tweet here from Nikki Walsh. She's saying, hashtag nervous parents. Go M. Walsh in the last heat of the women's 200 meters breaststroke. Emily Walsh will be going in lane number 1. She's 17 years old, representing Lincoln Vulcansons. So your parents are watching and they're a little bit nervous, but I'm sure you will do absolutely amazingly.
So we mentioned yesterday, but for those of you who have joined us today, we have the British team out in Kazan at the World Championships. And I can tell you that Great Britain are top of the leaderboard at the moment out there in Kazan. And it is their best ever performance at a World Championships. And we are only on day 4. We saw a fantastic world record by the City of Derby swimmer Adam Peaty. He also added a gold medal to that in the 100 meters breaststroke. Only one gentleman has ever done that before, and that was the famous David Wilkie. So great swimming by Adam Peaty. If you do want to send any messages to the guys out in Kazan, you can do that by actually tagging in at ASA Aquatics or at British Swimming. So just focusing our attention to the guys back out in Kazan. We have 3 semi-finalists that will be in the water later on this evening. Andrew Willis in the 200 meters breaststroke. He's qualified second fastest. We've got Lauren Quigley in the 50-meter backstroke final. She goes in 7th. And Daniel Wallace is in the 200 meters individual medley final. So Andrew Willis in the semi-final, Lauren and Dan in the final. We also, of course, have our relay girls. They were 6th in their heat and 7th overall to qualify for tonight's 4x200 freestyle. This morning's heat was with Siobhan Marie O'Connor, Becky Turner, Ellie Fortner and Hannah Miley. Molly Renshaw was just missing out this morning, but a great swim by her. She just missed narrowly out of the semi-finals by 0.04 of a second. Adam Peaty probably just a little bit tired as he has missed out on the semi-final for the 200 meters breaststroke. But we do know that his 2 main events have been swum, and he's done it in style with 2 gold medals. Fantastic result last night by our guys in the 4x100 meter mixed medley relay. We saw Chris Walker-Hebben, Adam Peaty, Siobhan Marie O'Connor, and of course the lovely Fran Housel. They not only took the gold medal, but they set a new world record. So just to let you know what is coming up in the pool, we have 3 more heats of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. They will be our cyclically seeded heats. We then move on to the men's multi-classification 100 metres breaststroke. We have 2 heats of that. And then straight on to the women's multi-classification 100 breaststroke. Again, 2 heats. We then move down to the other end of the pool for the men's open 50 metres backstroke, the dish dash, splish splash. And I can tell you there are 8 heats of that. And then we move on to one of the toughest events, especially if these swimmers have swum already. It's the men's and women's 4x200 metres freestyle team. My mistake, it's just the men's. The men's 14 to 16 years, there'll be 2 heats, and then the men's 17 years and over. Now, Jenny, we've seen 2.5 days, or nearly 2.5 days so far. If you were to pick one swimmer out of that, who would it be for you?
Oh goodness, that's extremely tough for me. We've seen some amazing swims, but for me, I know she's been extremely on form this week, and we've seen her swim so many races. It would have to be Tia Ward, the 12-year-old from City of Leeds. She's been doing an amazing meet so far, and I know she's coming up in lots of finals tonight. And so we wish her the best of luck for the rest of the meet as well. And like you said earlier, I know you said she wasn't feeling the best, but she's swimming fantastically well. So that's got to be a good sign for her. How about you? Who's been your standout swimmer so far in these first 3 days?
It's really difficult to call, but what I tend to look for is those that are showing great technique. It's great to see personal best times, and that's what we swim for year in and year out. But for those at this age, and as they progress through the rankings and throughout the age groups, it's great to see those that don't swim, and or shall I say, don't breathe with, in and without the 5 metres. So that's the red markers at each end. So they keep their head down. For those that really utilise that underneath water on the butterfly backstroke and front crawl, and seeing how far of them can actually swim underneath the water, because it is quicker actually to kick butterfly legs underneath the water. So for me, I'm looking out for the technique. We've also got a team down there from the England talent team, and that's again, they'll be looking at the technique, and those that have the depth across as well, all of the different strokes.
Absolutely, like we said yesterday, in the 800, it was being won by those turns and really utilising that underwater section in the 800. So many lengths to do, but they were really using it all.
We will be back in the pool for some action very soon. And it just goes to show you that these swimmers really do put 110% effort in, and they do push their bodies to the absolute maximum extreme pain, as we are just clearing up the pool ready for the next heat. All of these swimmers here will go through a mixture of emotions this week, from adrenaline through to excitement, some feeling disappointment. But what will be the key thing is the strength of character that these swimmers show as the week goes on. Do you pick yourself up after a swim that you're not so impressed with? Can you keep going all week? And we'd like to see PBs every single day. The swimmers are capable of doing that, but they really do need your support, spectators, as we go through the rest of the week. So our ladies have been waiting patiently, so please do get behind them. We are ready to move on now to heat number 8. In the first of the sickly seeded heats then in lane 0, so in for Wandsworth, Morgan Penny. Lane 1 from the City of Birmingham, Erin Davis. Lane 2 also from the City of Birmingham, Morgan Watson. Lane 3 from Camden Swiss Cottage, Madison Hookway. Lane 4 from the team from West Norfolk, Natalie Cougans. Lane 5 from Atlantis, Lily Davis. Lane 6 from Leinster, Martina Smagler. Lane 7 from Boldmere, Alexandra Dolan. And in lane 8 from the Exeter City, Millie Price.
And turning first here in lane 0, Morgan Penny of Wandsworth. Split time there, 35.83. Also going well in a central lane in lane number 5, Lily Davis of Atlantis. Her split there, 36.24. And she's now about a body length ahead of the rest of the field as she comes up to the halfway mark. But in this heat, we've got a range of ages from 12 through to 18. Erin Davis in lane number 1, the last 12-year-old in this event. She'll have seen Isabella Fackel in heat number 6 go 2:45.34. That's a second faster than her entry time, but I'm sure alongside these older girls will really push her to keep moving forward. And at the halfway mark, it is Lily Davis of Atlantis who leads the way, 1:16.45. Still a body length ahead and really chasing her down in lane number 3, Madison Hookway of Camden Swiss. Alongside her, though, in lane number 4 is Natalie Cougans of West Norfolk as we come down this third length.
As we come in then to the 150 mark, these ladies are about 2 seconds out from their nearest rival, and they're going to be turning in 201.02, 201.02. That is a tenth quicker than any time we've seen so far. So we're on for around the 241, 242 marks, which will be quicker than their entry times. We mentioned before, lane 1 is Erin Davis. She's our last 12-year-old. 2:45.34 is the fastest time set in that category by Isabella Fackel in heat number 6. But as we come into the last 15 then, a great last 50 here by the swimmer in lane number 8. That's Exeter swimmers Millie Price, but also keeping her lead by about a quarter of body length is the swimmer in lane number 4. That's Natalie Cougans. On the touch then, it is going to be Natalie Cougans from West Norfolk in a 2:43.31. The second place going to Exeter City's Millie Price in a 2:43.75. And the third place, Atlantis Lily Davis in 2:46.03. Those times are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 9. On to the penultimate heat of the women's 200 metres breaststroke, heat number 9. Swimming in lane 0, representing Borough of Kirklees, Keelan Fitton. Lane 1, representing Chester Street, Gabrielle Burdis. In 2, swimming for Deventio, Imogen Morris. In 3, representing City of Derby, Frances Spink. In 4, representing Modernians, Rebecca Burton. In 5, swimming for Thanet, Sophie Waller. In 6, representing Mount Kelly, Abby Rawlings. In 7, swimming for Poole, Inez Griffin. In 8, representing Sevenoaks, Isabel Booth. And in 9, swimming for UEA Norwich, Rachel Robinson.
So 11 tenths quicker than our previous heat at the 50-metre mark, and that is with our swimmer in lane number 5, Sophie Waller from Thanet Swim. She has had a great swim this week. Her teammates are on form, and she has about a half a body length up from her nearest rival. Abby Rawlings from Mount Kelly really trying to get stuck in there, as is Frances Spink from the City of Derby. Now, obviously, these Derby swimmers are really being inspired by Melanie Marshall, their coach out in Derby, as is their teammate, Adam Peaty. But at the halfway mark, it is 1:15.85. That is quicker by 0.6 of a second. And these ladies are all 15 to 18 years of age. Our two 15-year-olds, Rachel Robinson and Keelan Fitton, are in the outside lanes, 0 and 9. And they would have seen the 15-year-olds in the previous heat. But we do have Charlotte Stackpool, another 15-year-old in the last heat. And for me, these ladies really will have to show some strength of character, as they have been waiting around for this race longer than anticipated as they come in to the last term.
And going extremely well in this third length was lane number 3, Frances Spink, City of Derby. But turning there, 50 metres to go now for lane number 5, Sophie Waller, Thanet Swim, 1:58.1. And that was the fastest time so far by a good 3 seconds. And she's now extending her lead to about 5 metres ahead of the rest of the field. Currently lying in second place over in lane 6, Abby Rawlings from Mount Kelly, but really chasing her down in lane number 2, Imogen Morris of Davencio, and lane 4, Rebecca Burton of Modernians. Doesn't look like either of these two will be able to catch Sophie Waller in lane number 5, but they are all vying for the second and third place finishes to ensure for a place in tonight's final. And touching now to take heat number 9, it is Sophie Waller from Thanet Swim in a time of 2:41.46, and that's the fastest time so far by 2 seconds. Second there, Imogen Morris for Davencio Excel in 2:43.51, and third there, Rebecca Burton from Modernians in 2:44.07. And the official results for heat number 9 are on the scoreboard.
And we move straight on to heat number 10, the final heat. So the final heat of the women's open 200 metres breaststroke. In lane 0 from Yeovil, Alicia Hawkins, and lane 1 from Lincoln Vulcans, Emily Walsh. Lane 2 from the city of Hereford, Calypso Harvey. Lane 3 swimming for York City, Ellen Sudders. Lane 4 also from Millfield, Laura Mazzonaline. Lane 5 from Tiger Sharks, Rebecca Cook. Lane 6 swimming for Davencio, Chloe Bates. Lane 7 from the city of Leicester, Molly Lee. Lane 8 from the city of Manchester Aquatics, Rachel Morris. And in lane 9 from the city of Liverpool, Charlotte Stackpool.
And at the first turn, Ellen Sudders from York City leading the way at 35.72. Her split there, that's 1/100th of a second faster than Sophie Waller in the previous heat. But there's several girls here in the lanes 1 to 4 really chasing down the lead as they come up to the halfway mark. Just inches ahead, it is lane number 2, Calypso Harvey, having a good second length here. But she's just about quarter of a body length ahead of the girls on her right. Lane 3, Ellen Sudders of York City, and Laura Mazzolini of Millfield. As we come to the halfway mark now, it is Calypso Harvey of City of Hereford turning first there, 1:17.30, and that's about 1.5 seconds slower than the heat previously. But she's now extending her lead now as she comes down into the last 75, about half a body length ahead of lane number 1. It's Emily Walsh of Lincoln Vulcan. She had a good second length there, but also coming back at the green hat in the centre of the pool, lane 4, Laura Mazzolini of Millfield. As we come into the final turn of the final heat of the women's 200 metres breaststroke, heat number 10.
And this really is exciting, because at the halfway mark it was Calypso Harvey, and she still has the lead by a fingernail under the 2-minute mark at 1:50. This is great to see. City of Hereford swimmer still trying to keep her lead, but the ladies are coming back on her. Now we have a mixture of ages, 15-year-olds on the outside lanes in here. Charlotte Stackpool in lane number 9, and also 16, 17 and 18-year-olds. But these ladies want to put their place in tonight's final. They certainly want a centre lane, and we have 2 ladies that are going for it stroke for stroke. That is, I can tell you, Calypso Harvey. It's also the lady in lane number 5, Rebecca Cook. It's going to be on the touch. It looks like the Tiger Shark swimmer will get it. And a 2:42.54. Great swimming by her. Second place goes to the City of Hereford swimmer Calypso Harvey, 2:43.47. And Lincoln Vulcan swimmer Emily Walsh, 2:44.98, touches home in third position. We're just waiting for those official results to come through, and then we'll follow that up with the official summary. But it's great to see a number of these ladies this morning have set huge personal best times. Very technical, the breaststroke. And there you can see the official results are now on the scoreboard. A summary of that event is up on the scoreboard for you to see.
So coming up next, we've got the men's multi-classification 100 meters breaststroke, followed by the women's multi-classification 100 meters breaststroke, then onto the men's 50 backstroke, and then onto the relays. So do stick around and make sure you do cheer on all your swimmers. They work very hard throughout the year to get a place in to this event, this championships, and they'll be swimming and hoping to secure a place in tonight's final, so do ensure you cheer them on. We move on to event 307, the men's multi-classification 100 meters breaststroke. There are 2 heats. Heat number 1. Into heat number 1 and swimming in lane 2, representing Shrewsbury, Tom Pigott. In 3, representing Staines, Matthew Rishworth. In lane 4, swimming for Gloucester, Daniel Bennett. In lane 5, representing Team Luton, Aaron Hurd. Lane 6 from Fareham Nomads, Arthur Morley. And in 7, representing City of Salford, Will Holland-Levens. And so we've got a range of categories here from SB6 through to SB9 in this men's multi-classification 100 meters breaststroke. As you know, and we mentioned earlier, this is not based on the times, it's based on points. So it might be a different leader who touches in a different place. But leading the way now as he comes down his second length is lane number 4, Daniel Bennett from Gloucester. Currently lying in second place is lane number 5, Aaron Hurd. It's a great spearhead formation here in this heat number 1. And as we come into the last 10 meters now, it is Daniel Bennett in lane number 4, leading the way for Gloucester. But as I said, I'll let you know the points as they touch. And that's where we can see who will get through to tonight's final. And Daniel Bennett there touching in with 538 points. Aaron Hurd coming in with 413. Matthew Rishworth of Staines with 358 points. Arthur Morley of Fareham Nomads with 337. Tom Pigott of Shrewsbury 268. And we still got a swimmer, Will Holland-Levens of SB6 category, coming in lane number 7. And he touches there with 392 points. So taking heat number 1. The official results are on the scoreboard is Daniel Bennett of Gloucester with 538 points.
Heat number 2. Heat number 2. Final heat at the men's multi-classification on 100 metres breaststroke, heat number 2. In lane 2, swimming for the City of Salford, Jack Sheffield. Lane 3 for the City of Sunderland, Gareth Orr. Lane 4 representing Rotherham Metro, Joseph Surge. Lane 5 representing the City of Peterborough, Jackson Simmons. Lane 6 representing Carradon, Cameron Vercombe. Lane 7 from the Isle of Man, Benjamin Granger. Now, Jack Sheffield has been having a lot of love on tweeting today. Tweeting or Twitter, shall I say? Showing my age here, I am. Remember that these events are based on points, so the more points you get, the higher the placing you will have. There is a final tonight, so these swimmers will want to be getting into that final, and our categories in heat number 2 range from SB9 through to SB14. But at the moment, in the lead in terms of swimming is Joseph Surge, Rotherham Metro. He looks like he will touch home first. But the question will be, what is the point score going to be for the gentleman in lane number 4? He's into his last 5 metres. And Joseph then touches home in a time of 119.13. That is 599 points. Coming in a second at the moment is Gareth Orr with 461 points. But we are still waiting on 2 swimmers as they come into their last 5 metres. SB9 swimmer Benjamin Granger from the Isle of Man is going to touch home, and he gets 231 points. So Joseph Surge then takes that heat in 599 points. The results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to event 308, the women's multi-classification 100 metres breaststroke. There are 2 heats. Heat number 1. In heat number 1, lane 1, representing Loughborough University, Sophie Taylor. In lane 2, swimming for Wickham District, Katie Crowhurst. In 3, representing Warrington Warriors, Coral Farrell. In 4, swimming for Richmond, Lily McLeod. In 5, representing Kingston and Hull, Natalie Moon. In 6, swimming for Orion, Megan Richter. In 7, representing Wellingborough, Maisie Summers-Newton. And in 8, swimming for Gloucester, Lavanna Hansen. And many of these swimmers have swum against each other already this morning in the women's multi-classification 100 metres freestyle. But leading the way at the moment in lane number 4 is Lily McLeod of Richmond. Half a body length behind her in lane number 5, Natalie Moon from Kingston Hull. And these swimmers will be looking to post quick times to ensure highest points to go through to tonight's final. Megan Richter having a good competition so far, having medalled last night, but it is Lily McLeod touching first there. She gets 632 points. Natalie Moon coming into touch with 570. Lily being the highest point scorer so far, but we still got several swimmers to come in, so make sure you do cheer on the swimmers and they come into the last 25 metres. And so far the order is Lily McLeod of Richmond with 632, Natalie Moon of Kingston and Hull 570, and Maisie Summers-Newton in lane number 7 from Wellingborough with 507. We've still got Lavanna Hansen, SB7 category from Gloucester in lane number 8, so do make sure you get behind Lavanna as she comes into the last 10 metres now. And like we said before, it's not about the time, it's all about the points, so she could still take this heat. Lavanna Hansen touching there with a 2:46.73 with 150 points. The official results are now on the scoreboard.
So if you are new to para-swimming, all of these competitors must have an authorised IPC swimming classification. And I can tell you that the finalists, there will be 10, and they shall be determined by the British para-swimming point seals from the heats, according to the competitors' classification, the stroke and the distance. And we move on to the final heat, heat number 2. So coming up after this heat, we move on to the men's open 50 metres backstroke. And then we are followed again by the men's 17 and over 800 free team and the men's 14 to 16 800 free team. So our relay boys are coming up, as are our splish splash dish dash boys in the 50 metres backstroke. We're now ready for heat number 2. So these ladies have waited very patiently. They are in heat number 2 and in lane 1, swimming for Burnley Bobcats, Katie Rylett-Young. Lane 2 from the Grantham Club, Hayley Milne. Lane 3, swimming for Derwentside, Jay McCabe. Lane 4 from Worcester, Rebecca Redfern. Lane 5 from Basildon Phoenix, Danielle Hartin. Lane 6 from Glossop, Eleanor Bamber. Lane 7 from Hoddesdon, Grace Harvey. And in lane 8 from Littlehampton, Georgia Howell. 632 points were scored in the previous heat. That's our score to date. And our categories range from SB6 through to SB14. Now, if you're wondering, our finalists will be placed in the lanes based on times, but of course the medals will be placed on the scores. But it looks like the swimmer in lane number 4, that's Worcester's Rebecca Redfern, has about a 2 body length up from her nearest rival, Danielle Harton from Basildon Phoenix. But keep an eye on the scoreboard, as we are looking for a point score of 632 or higher if she would like to grab lane 4 for tonight's final. If she'd like to get in tonight's final, this is what we're looking at. Keep an eye on the scoreboard then. Touching home first, it is going to be Worcester's Rebecca Redfern, and I can tell you she will, looks like she will get lane number 2, lane number 4 shall I say, 802 points for her. Danielle Hartin has 609 points, so the 632 points will stick between Danielle and Rebecca. And Jay McCabe, 558. But we still got our SB6, SB7 and SB8 swimmers coming in. So please do give them your appreciation and your support as they are looking for personal best times. They have entry times, our swimmers in this last heat, ranging from 1:21 to 2:11. So let's bring them home as these ladies in the outside lanes have just done personal best times. And great swimming by our swimmers in heat number 2 of the women's multi-classification 100 meters breaststroke. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
And we've got 3 events left this morning's session, ladies and gentlemen. Please do make sure you stick around. We've got 8 heats of the men's 50 meters backstroke, followed by 2 heats of the men's 14 to 16 years 800 meters freestyle relay. And then also the final event is event 311, the men's 17 years and over 4x200 of freestyle relay. And it's always exciting to see these relay teams. It's always ever changing, so do make sure you stick around and cheer your team on, as they really can hear you when they are in the pool. We move on to event 309, the men's 50 meters backstroke, heat number 1. In lane 1, Noah Doist. 2, Jack Bauer. 3, Joshua Cohen. 4, Sean Scannell. 5, Rowan Greening. 6, Owen Westhorpe. 7, James Bonner. And 8, Lewis Moore. And all these boys are 13 years old in heat number 1. And as they come down into the last 15 meters now, it's lane number 4, Sean Scannell of Leinster, leading the way about 3/4 of body length ahead of lane 3, Joshua Cohen, who's going well alongside him. As we come into touch now, it is Sean Scannell of Leinster who sets the first time at 30.82. Second there, Joshua Cohen of Thanet Swim, 31.55. And third, Noah Doist of Guildford City, 31.81. And the official results are on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 2. In heat number 2, swimming in lane 0, Simon Sweetman. 1, Liam Brennan. Lane 2, Elliot Day. Lane 3, Nathan Cullen. In 4, Tyler Thomas. Lane 5, Aaron Beckford. In 6, Daniel Buckley. Lane 7, Robbie Casson. In 8, William Barber. And in 9, George Dearden. And all these boys are 13 years of age again, and they will just seen Sean Scannell from Leinster go 30.82. That we're really hoping to go as fast to make sure they get through to tonight's final, but they're all similarly in a line. Touching first there is Tyler Thomas of Chatteris in lane number 4, 31.52. That's 0.15 faster than his entry time. Second there, Robbie Casson of Doncaster Darts, 31.57. And third, Elliot Day of Team Ipswich, 31.61. And the official results for heat number 2 are on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 3.
Heat number 3 in lane 0, Kayotana 1, Henry Tassel 2, William Woodward 3, Cole Lee 4, James Cooper 5, Aaron Carroll 6, Alexander Mason 7, Joshua Smith 8, Harry Richards and 9, Jacob Davids. And I can tell you 30.82 is the time to beat. And look at the gentleman in lane number 6, because that's Alexander Mason, and he is having a stormer here. He has half a body length up on his nearest rival to take the first position in 29.63. That's our first gentleman under the 30 points. 29.63 for Chester Streets, Alexander Mason, great personal best time for him. James Cooper from Romford Town comes second in 30.19, and touching home in third is Joshua Smith from Dunmow Atlantis, 30.32. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
Heat number 4. In lane 0, Luke Pullen. Lane 1, Jacob Newcomb. Lane 2, Jack Hutchin. In 3, Jacob Carrington. Lane 4, Yusuf Nkrumah. In 5, Kieran Rutter. Lane 6, Daniel Jenkins. In 7, Charles Hodges. Lane 8, Bradley Gordon. And in 9, James McLean. And as we saw, Alexander Mason in the previous heat, 29.63, really set the bar high for these 13 and 40-year-olds in heat number 4. Going well in the centre lane, lane number 5, and it is Kieran Rutter of Sutton Team who takes heat number 4 in 29.96. Second there, James McLean from Chalford in 30.05. And third, Jack Hutchin of Mount Kelly in 30.08. So the only swimmer, Kieran Rutter, to go sub 30 in that heat. And we're just awaiting the official results there for heat number 4. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. Heat 5.
Heat number 5, lane 0, Harvey Williamson, 1, Ewan Smith, 2, Thomas Christie Smith, 3, Alex Westwood, 4, Miles McAuliffe, 5, Ryan Smith, 6, Samuel Cotty, 7, Hamish Milne-Skillman, 8, Luke Wilby, 9, Joshua Turner. So we've seen a couple of gentlemen go under the 30 points to hit 29. Now these boys, just one man on paper has gone 29, but if we can get behind them, we can get a couple under 30 points. And we do indeed. Ryan Smith takes the first position in 29.44. The second position goes to Hamish Milne-Skillman, 29.50. And Miles McAuliffe from Milton Keynes at 29.55. Those results are now official.
Heat 6. Onto heat number 6, swimming in lane 0, Tom Mitchell. Lane 1, Joseph Tibbetts. In 2, James Chambers. Lane 3, Jordan McDonald. In 4, Ethan Harrington. Lane 5, Joshua Cosgrove. 6, Joshua Moniz. 7, Charles Seller. 8, Jacob West. And 9, Matthew Gregory. And leading the way in lane number 5 is Joshua Cosgrove. About half a body length ahead, but coming back in now in lane number 4, Ethan Harrington. As they come into touch, it is Joshua Cosgrove of City of Salford who takes heat number 6 in 27.34, and that's 0.6 faster than his entry time. Second there, Ethan Harrington, Plymouth Leander in 27.63, and Joshua Moniz from Southport, third in 27.99, and the official results are now on the scoreboard.
Heat number 7. In lane 0, David Witham, Milton Keynes. In lane 1, Thomas Herbert, Tidja Coventry. 2, Josh Bradley. 3, Harry Shalaman. 4, Mazay Zebishaka. 5, Liam White. 6, Nathan Wells. 7, Joshua Thompson. 8, James Oxborough. And 9, Harry Middleton. In the centre lane, though, it is in lane 3. Harry Shalaman looks like he may take this. The fastest time set so far has just been beaten, 27.13. Remember, this is the second sickly seeded heat, 27.13 from the Tiger jersey swimmer, Harry Shalaman. Lane 4 gets the second position. No, he doesn't. He gets the third position. Liam White takes second position in 27.61. And Mazay Zebi Shaka takes 27.63 to touch home third. Those results are now official.
We move on to the final heat, heat number 8. In heat number 8, the final heat now, lane 0, Tobias Stania. Lane 1, Josh Gunn. In 2, Matthew Evans. 3, Peter Webster. 4, Niels van Oudekerke. 5, Niall O'Leary. 6, Liam Jones. In 7, Christopher Lee. 8, Oliver Horton. And in 9, Benjamin Prosser. And it is the central lanes just inching ahead in lane number 4, Niels van Oudekerke. He won the 200 metres backstroke early in these championships, and he looks like he'll take this heat, and he does in a time of 27.2. That was 7/100ths of a second slower than in the previous heat. But in second place there, Peter Webster from Modernians, 27.68. And third, Niall O'Leary from Arrington Vale, 27.78. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. And we move on to the summary of event 309, the men's 50 metres backstroke. And the summary is on the board. So if you were in the top 10 for your age group or 2 reserves, you will go through to tonight's final. Please have a round of applause for all swimmers in the men's 50 metres backstroke.
So we have 2 relays coming up across 4 heats. We start off with the men's 14 to 16 years, 4x200 metres freestyle. And then, of course, the older gentlemen dive in for their 4x200 metres freestyle. See a lot of you leaving across the spectator gallery. I ask very kindly that you stick around for just a little bit more of your time. And I can also see that you're all choosing to ignore me. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, please stop. Stay around and give our boys a little bit of a cheer. If you have enjoyed this morning's session and you're still looking forward to some fast swimming, give us a wave. If you're choosing to ignore me, give us a wave. Well, good to see that you're getting behind our swimmers and sticking around. So thanks very much. Make sure you do shout, make sure you do scream, as we do have 4 heats across the men's 4x200 metres freestyle. We move on to event 310, the men's 14 to 16 years 800 metres freestyle team. Heat number 1. Swimming in lane 0 is Team Mercia. Lane 1, Mount Kelly. Lane 2, Aquasulis. 3, Plymouth Leander A Team. 4, Guildford City. 5, City of Oxford. 6, Daventio XL. 7, Bicester Bluefins. 8, Wickham District. And in 9, Exeter City.
Leading out first there, Wickham District in lane number 8. It's James McFadden swimming for them. He went 27.12 for his first 50 split. Also going well over in lane number 3 is Plymouth Leander's Alexander Raw. He's about half a body length behind Wickham District currently as we come up to the first 100 metres. Chasing them down though in lane number 5, City of Oxford's Ewan Springett. And at the 100-metre mark, it is James McFadden, 57.26, his split here. Chasing him down there, like I said earlier, is lane 3 of Plymouth Leander, 57.79. And there was 2 other teams to go a sub-60 in that first 100 metres.
So if you have a look at your programs, you can see the second fastest team in paper is in lane number 4. That's Guildford City. So both of these heats are sickly seeded and just 10 lanes up for grab into tonight's final. But still leading the way, it is Wickham District. And Wickham District, James McFadden will hand over to James Eddy. Plymouth Leander's Alexander Raw will hand over to Adam Davis. And these 2 gentlemen are in head by about a body length ahead of any other team at this moment in time. We're looking at for times around the 2:01. And these boys are just outside the 2-minute mark. So Plymouth Leander then 2 minutes .79 at the 200-metre stage. And I can tell you in the water then for Exeter City is Thomas Downs. Wickham District have James Eddy. Bicester have Thomas Thornley. Daventio, Harrison Thurn. City of Oxford have Christopher Wood in the water. George Smale for the Guildford City. Adam Davis for the Plymouth Leander A team. Henry Dixon dived in for Aquasulis and Tadazukanishi Shaza for Mount Kelly. And Robin Hughes for Team Mercia.
And Wickham District's James Eddy is about 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He's got about 5 metres lead now. He's really extended it as he came down his second length. Plymouth Leander's Adam Davies also trying to hold on to that second place position. But coming back at them now, lanes 5, 6 and 7, that's City of Oxford, Daventio XL and Bicester Bluefins, all chasing them down as we come down this third length in the second leg.
For those of you that are AquaZone readers, make sure that you also keep in touch with #AquaZone, because we will be putting our picks of the day from day 2 up there, and we're keeping you all informed through all of our hashtags here. #ASA Nat 2015, #AquaZone. So keep in touch with us and send us all your tweets. Remember also to go out and get your USB sticks from the reception area, as you can watch your races over and over again. And we come up then to the halfway mark and the takeover, and we have Wickham District really taken this by storm in the first half, but Bicester Bluefins really have made a huge mark here. 4:02.81, 4:02.81. So that's around a 2:02 for that split, and Bicester really now have a good 4 body lengths up on anyone else in this field, and the race at the moment is on for those minor positions.
And this is what I love, Sarah, about relays. It's ever changing, and you know it's such an exciting race. Now out at front it is Abista Bluefins. Swimming for them now is Kieran Bird. He has a substantial lead, nearly 15 metres ahead of the rest of the field, but there are 6 teams vying for this second and third place finish in heat number 1 as we come up to the takeover for the third swimmer. Sorry, my apologies, we've got another 100 metres.
This is what happens up here. We get so excited and so engrossed in the racing that sometimes we just miscount our legs, but never mind, because we get to watch an extra 100 metres. Bista then, Bista is still way out in front there. These boys doing so well. And I can tell you, Bista will hand over to Joshua Rowland. At the moment, Kieran Bird is in the water. Now, this gentleman, I've seen him swim many times over the years. A very successful age grouper is our Kieran Bird. Bista, they have an entry time of 8:28, and I can tell you they will annihilate that, and they'd certainly look that they will probably more than likely get themselves into tonight's final. The question will be what lane? But the battle now progresses behind as lane 4, the Sealford City team. We hand over now to our last swimmer. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, get behind your teams. Kieran Bird then coming in to touch home in the first position at the 600 metre mark. And I can tell you that is 5:59.35.
So way out in front with a good 15 metres lead, it's Abista Bluefins, and it's Joshua Rowland leading the way here. Currently lying in second position in lane number 4, Guildford City, Lewis Illingworth. He's turning now for his first turn in this leg. And turning quite similar times there, Oscar Brain in lane 3 for Plymouth Leander, and Reese Lewin in lane 6 for Deventio Excel. These 2 teams here really chasing down Guildford City for that second place position. And at 100 metres to go for Bista Bluefins, it's Joshua Rowland absolutely leading the way. Doesn't look like any team will catch him, but it's vying for that second and third place position in heat number 1. They want to make sure they post quick times to go through to tonight's final. Holding on currently Guildford City's.
Keep going, keep going.
Guildford City in lane number 4 is Lewis Illingworth, but he's slightly getting overtaken by Plymouth Leander in lane 3, Oscar Brain. He's inching ever closer as we come into the last 60 metres of this 4x200 freestyle relay.
Bista Bluefins then showing the teams exactly how to do it. These teams are not only satisfied that they've more than likely put themselves into tonight's final, but they are trying to do this in style as they come into their last 15 metres. This is incredible swimming. Please show your support, stand on your feet, give them a wave, give them a shout, and clap your hands, because the team, the Bista Bluefins, touch home first in an 8:04.53. 8:04.53. The battle now on for the second position. It will go to Plymouth Leander A team, 8:13.03. And Guildford City take the third place in heat number 1 in an 8:13.32. Still got some swimmers due to come in. Let's give them your support. This is a tough event, the 200 metres freestyle, especially at the end of day 3 heats. We have just one more heat to go, and we would like all of you to stay around, and then we move on to the older categories. But Mount Kelly then coming in to take their position in heat number 1. Those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to heat number 2. And we're on to the final heat of the men's 14 to 16 years 4x200 freestyle relay. Swimming in lane 0, Basildon Phoenix. In 1, Wirral Metro. Lane 2, the team from Preston. In 3, Swim Trafford. In lane 4, Enfield Squad. In 5, Wigan Best. In lane 6, Chester Street. In 7, Portsmouth Northsea. In 8, Kingston upon Hull. And in 9, Wrekin College.
So we saw the time set by the Bicester Bluefins in the previous heat, and that was 8:05.3. And those boys consisted of Oliver Innes, Thomas Thornley, Kieran Bird and Joshua Rowland. The fastest 200 split at the first 200 metre mark was 2 minutes 0.79. So that's our time to beat so far. And remember, to book your places in tonight's final, you need to post the fastest 10 times. And these teams can swim their swimmers in any order that they like. So some teams will choose to place their fastest swimmer on the back end. Some will choose to place them on the front end. And some teams even placing them on second or third legs. It's all very tactical, the 4x200 metres freestyle, as we come up to the 200 metre mark. And at the moment it is Swim Trafford and Preston trying to get through, but Preston and Wirral Metro having a little bit of battle. But it does look like Wirral Metro are going to touch first at the 200 metre mark. 2 minutes 0.79 is what you need to keep an eye on the clock. They're getting hunted down by Swim Trafford, but Wirral Metro 2 minutes 0.71. So they are 8/100ths quicker at this point.
Having a great final length there was a lane number 3, Swim Trafford's Solomon Marr. Very strong length to put his teammate Jack O'Brien in a good position, currently lying in second. But it is a lane number 1's Wirral Metro. Connor Harwood swimming for them currently at his first turn. He's about half a body length ahead of lane 3's Jack O'Brien. Samuel Pereira going well for Enfield in lane number 4, and these 3 teams now pulling ahead of the rest of the field. Clear water between them and the swimmers vying for the 4th position. But like we know with any relay teams, it can always change, and as we are only with the 2nd swimmer, we've got 2 to go, which is ever changing.
So you can keep an eye on the scoreboard to see who's in the water, but just to let you know, Robin Hughes swims for Team Mercia. No, we're on heat number 2. This is what happens when we get really excited. Harry Nichols then is in the water for Basildon Phoenix, Connor Harwood for Wirral Metro, Keenan Young for Preston, Jack O'Brien for Swim Trafford, Samuel Perrier for the Enfield squad, James Cross for Wigan, James Keyworth for Chester Street, George Radgriffith for Portsmouth Northsea, Lewis Collins for Kingston upon Hull, and Jacob Blakemere for Wrekin College. But at the moment then, it is the team in lane number 4. That is the Enfield squad. Samuel Perrier had a great week this week. Fastest split from the previous heat, 4:02.81. 4:02.81. It's going to be around that. So Samuel Perrier putting his squad in a great position at the halfway mark then. It is 4:01.76. That's 1.1 seconds faster than the previous heat.
And it's Enfield still leading the way. It's Oscar Sulis leading out for them now. They've got 5-6 metres ahead of the rest of the field. Currently in lane 1, swimming for Wirral Metro, it is Jake Dane. Turning similar times to lane 3 there, Jared Armstrong. And these 3 teams now very much way out in front, a good 10 metres ahead of the rest of the field. So it's all the rest of the teams here still vying for a quick time to try and make it through to tonight's final. Still very much out in front though, lane number 4, Enfield squad, Oscar Sulis had a great swim from Samuel Pereira to get him into the lead, but chasing them down, lane number 3, Jared Armstrong, now only body length ahead as they've still got 100 metres to go in this 3rd leg. And Jared Armstrong really picking up the pace here as he's got now half a body length between him and lane 4's Enfield squad. They're pulling away slightly from lane number 1, Wirral Metro, and it is these three after out in front. But currently lying in 4th place, lane number 2, Preston swimmer alongside lane 5.
And the Enfield squad swimming predominantly and breathing predominantly to his left with a sneaky breath to the right, but the better turn there is definitely the Swim Trafford swimmer. Swim Trafford, I can tell you, it is Jared Armstrong. And Jared Armstrong is coming up to his last 25 metres, and the time we're looking for 600 is 5:59.35, and we have a great last 50 here by Jared Armstrong. He's going to hand over to Alistair Stout as they come into that last 200 metres then. Alistair Stout in the water. We're just waiting on a time there, 6:07.28, so Bicester are still ahead, 6:07.28. But remember, these swimmers can swim in any order, and here come Wirral Metro. Wirral Metro are now trying to hunt down the Enfield squad, but at the moment, Preston swimmer is still also trying to come back. Swim Trafford then, I can tell you, that is Alistair Stout in the water for them. Basildon Phoenix have Harry Fox, Wirral Metro, Elliot Pickford, George Robinson in for Preston, Alistair Stout for Swim Trafford, Reece Nichols for Enfield, Matthew Sylvester for Wigan, Oliver Wallace for Chester Street, Dominic Johnson for Portsmouth Northsea, Bailey Harsine for Kingston upon Tyne, and Christopher Cummings for Wrekin. But we come up with 100 metres to go.
Turning though with 100 metres, Swim Trafford's Alistair Stout, 7:06.66. Currently in second, Enfield's Reece Nichols, 7:09.94, and Elliot Pickford for Wirral in 7:12.03. And the time to beat for them, Bicester Bluefin set in the previous heat, 8:04.53. Their entry time here for Swim Trafford, 8:25.91. And I'm sure they're going to go well under that now as they come into the last 50 metres. And final turn there for Swim Trafford's Alistair Stout, 7:39.27. Let's get behind all these swimmers, and they come into the last 30 metres now in this second heat of the men's 14 to 16 years 4x200 freestyle team. And it's 15 metres to go for Alistair Stout. He's led the entire leg for his team, Swim Trafford. Currently chasing him down in lane number 4, it is Reece Nichols for Enfield squad, but it is Swim Trafford who take heat number 2 in a time of 8:11.02. Second there, Enfield squad, 8:13.94. And third, Wirral Metro, 8:15.29. The official results on the scoreboard there for heat number 2. And the summary is now on the scoreboard, so you'll see those top 10 teams who've made it through into tonight's final.
We move on to the last event of this morning's session, event 311, the men's 17 years and over 800 freestyle team, heat number 1. Just 2 heats of this event, and swimming in heat number 1, lane number 2 is the team from Exeter City, lane 3 Hatfield, lane 4 Basildon and Phoenix, lane 5 Ealing, lane 6 Plymouth Neander A team, lane 7 Teddington, and in lane 8 Camden Swiss Cottage.
Turning first here in lane number 5 for Ealing, it's Joseph Sheehan. Apologies, no, Teddington's James Adams turning first there, 26.22 over in lane number 7. Also going well alongside him in lane 8, James Slade for Camden Swiss Cottage. As they come up to the 100-metre mark, it's just still all to play for. And at the turn here, it is Teddington who lead the way, 55.95, the only swimmer to go sub 56 in that first 100. But coming back at them well in lane number 5 is Ealing's Joseph Sheehan. And alongside him, don't forget Plymouth Leander A-Team. These 4 boys a slight half a body length ahead of the rest of the field currently.
And diving in next for Exeter City will be Jack Pearson. For Hatfield, Benjamin Purcell. Basildon and Phoenix will have George Epsley. Ealing, Alexander Farrell. Plymouth Leander, Freddie Clampett. Teddington, Oliver Hall. And Camden Swiss Cottage, Peter Schicklicher. But all of these boys pretty much in a line at the moment. And we have the second fastest team on paper in lane number 4. That is Basildon Phoenix. So the last team will be, the fastest team will be in the next heat. These are sickly seeded, but it is Hatfield at the moment leading the way. Hatfield touch home at a 157.22. So Hatfield's Nathan Bentley touching home at a 157.22. And this is where we start to see the positions change. The second and third legs being really telling. You get the waves off the other swimmers, so you really want to put your team out there in front to have some clear water.
And Benjamin Purcell goes for Hatfield now, turning here at a 2:24.63. He's about a body length, half a body length ahead of Plymouth Leander swimmer in lane number 6. But these 4 teams in the middle, lanes 3, 4, 5 and 6. That is Hatfield, Basildon and Phoenix, Ealing and Plymouth Leander A-Team really stretching out now and got clear water ahead of the rest of the field. At the halfway mark for this leg, turning first there, George Epsley for lane number 4, Basildon Phoenix. Half a body length ahead now, but it's all to play for as we come down this length. And as we said, it's always ever-changing. In the previous heat, heat number 2, we had a different leader for 3 of the legs. And so it's all could to change, Sarah, couldn't it?
Absolutely, Jenny. And remember, it can change as well as we go into the finals, because swimmers can be swapped around and new fresh blood can be brought in for the finals. Plymouth Leander A-Team are currently in lane 3. They got the gold medal in the men's 4x100 metres freestyle. We've also got the team in lane 4, Basildon and Phoenix. They unfortunately just missed out on the podium on the 4x100 freestyle. So I'm sure they will be wanting to ensure they are on that podium, and they will want that gold medal in tonight's final. They have about 2 body lengths up on their nearest rivals, Plymouth Leander, and these guys are now halfway. They touch on a 355.51, 355.51. That's a 158 points for these swimmers. And Hatfield have a great start there. And just to let you know who is in the water for our teams, Exeter City have William Amy, Hatfield Harry Parker, Basildon and Phoenix Fraser Scott, Ealing Tudor Puzet, Plymouth Leander Alexander Millington, Teddington Daniel Edmonston, and Camden Swiss Cottage have Alex Bentelli.
Fraser Scott there leading the way for Basildon and Phoenix in lane number 4. He'll be wanting to hold on to this lead to ensure that his teammate Connor Harold has a lead in the final leg. But Plymouth Leander in lane number 6 really chasing them down as we come to the halfway mark for this third leg. Also swimming well in lane number 5, Tudor Huset. And alongside him, still in the running, is Hatfield's swimmer Harry Parker. These 4 swimmers now have a good 5 metres ahead of the rest of the field as they come down into their final turn and last 50 metres of the third leg.
And look at what's happening in the center of the pool, because this really is starting to hot up. These boys have less than 50 meters to go as they hand over to their final swimmers. And going in for Plymouth Leander A will be John Slater. And in for Ealing will be Aaron Pullin. But the team, Basildon and Phoenix, Connor Harold will take over and try and keep his lead for his team. They have about 3 body lengths up, and these guys will be touching home in around the 5:55 mark. They do that 5:55.47, 5:55.47.
And so, like you said, Sarah, it's very close between all these teams are vying for the second place position. Plymouth Leanders in lane number 4. It's John Slater really edging ahead now as he comes down his first length, but it is Hatfield and lane number 5, Ealing, still all to play for, but it is Basildon Phoenix way out in front. Connor Harold absolutely storming ahead, still contending to extend his lead with 5 meters to go. Very strong long stroke from Plymouth Leander over in lane number 6. That's John Slater starting to show his strength here as he comes into his 100-meter mark for their leg. So are they able to catch, is John Slater able to catch Connor Harold as we come into the last 100 meters now for heat number 2, heat number 1 of the men's 17 years and over 4x200 freestyle. Hatfield, a swimmer in lane number 3, is coming back. It's Joshua Duggan really pushing hard as he comes down into his final turn.
They do indeed, and Basildon and Phoenix then have about 3 body lengths up, and look at the battle that's going on behind. It is between Ealing, it is between Hatfield and Plymouth Leander A team. If you have swimmers in the pool or you have swimmers that have swum, give them a cheer as they bring their teams home. Basildon and Phoenix then, coached by Doug Campbell, they are going to take heat number 1, and they will certainly set the standard. We're looking for a time around the 7:51 mark. Let's see what they're going to do. 7:49, 7:50, 7:51, 7:51.15. That is the time set by the team from Basildon and Phoenix. I can tell you, second place in that. We're just waiting on those results at the moment. But we have our final swimmers coming in for heat number 1. So those results are now official. Basildon Phoenix, then Hatfield and Plymouth Leander taking the 3rd position.
We move on to heat number 2. We move on to the final heat this morning, heat number 2 of event 311, the men's 17 years and over 800 meters of freestyle relay. Time set, previous heat, Basildon Phoenix 7:51.15, and these teams in here will be looking to chase down that time to get a central lane for tonight's final. And swimming in lane number 1, the team from Winsford. Lane 2, Windsor. In lane 3, Northampton. In 4, Rushmore Royals. Lane 5, Thanet. In 6, Prescott. Lane 7, Portsmouth North Sea. And in lane 8, Carlisle Aquatics. Leading the way now in lane number 6, Alex Dunk for Prescott. His split there, 53.11. Got a good 5-meter lead ahead of lane number 5, Thanet swimmer Ben Evans, who turned 55.62. But it's still all to play for, as we know, as it's only the first leg of this 4x200 relay.
Absolutely, and they would have seen what the team from Basildon Phoenix did before. Just to let you know those splits from the previous heat: 157.22, 355.51, 5:55.47, and then finishing off with a 7:51.15. But at the moment then it is Prescott from Thanet from Rushmere Royals, but we still have over 600 metres to go of this men's 17 years and over 800 freestyle team. Now Prescott then, they will hand over first. They touch home in a 1:51.87. I can tell you that is faster than the previous heat. And just to let you know who is in for the water and their teams now. So in for Winsford is Brandon Sharkey, Crispin Imranani for Windsor, Northampton Adam Elkington, Rushmere Rolls Elliot Broad, Thanet Jordan Honour, Prescott Alex Fry, Portsmouth Norsey James Miller, Carlisle Aquatics Ben Layton. We are going to have one more swim after this event. We are having a re-swim, so please do stay around. It is for the men's 50 metres backstroke. A re-swim will be done for the men's 50 metres backstroke. So please do stay around and show your support as these boys on the second leg turn for their halfway mark and put their teams into contention for tonight's final.
And it's still a lane 6 of Prescott leading the way. Alex Fry is still holding on to the lead as they come down his third length. Currently lying in second position in lane number 5, Jordan Honour swimming for Thanet. He's really chasing down the lead though in the lane next to him, and he's just now a body length behind the leader in lane 6. Final 10 here for Alex Fry as he comes down, and is still chased down by lane number 5, Thanet swimmer Jordan Honour. Currently lying in third position is lane number 4, Elliot Broad in the green hat for Rushmore Royals, but chasing also going well in lane number 1 is Winsford. And that's Brandon Sharkey for them. As we come now into the halfway mark, just inching ahead, Alex Fry touches there, 3:55.51. That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the same split that Basildon Phoenix touched in at the halfway mark. So this is very tight race moving forwards to tonight's final.
And what are the chances of that then? Exactly the same time at the 400 metre mark, 3:55.51. Wow, this is going to be really tight to see who gets that centre lane. In for Winsford then is Alexander Law. Windsor have Tom Irwin. Northampton, Liam Snook. Rushmere Royals, Robert Griffiths. Thanet have Connor Lowry. Prescott have a Daniel Cheshire. Portsmouth Norsey have a Jack Keeler, and Carlisle Aquatics have a Toby Gibson. Now this is where we start to see a little bit of change going on here, as Prescott have now been overtaken by Thanet. Thanet have turned 1:53.06 and a 10th behind them. A second and a 10th is Prescott. And these swimmers really starting to mix it up. Rushmere Royal still trying to get in the mix, as are the team from Winsford. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you the mark we're looking at the 600 metres is 5:55.47. That was set by the Basildon and Phoenix team. 5:55.47. Just 10 lanes up for grabs in tonight's final. And these swimmers will have to start picking up the pace if they want to make tonight's final.
And Rushmore Royals, lane number 4, Robert Griffiths having a sterling swim here. Now he's currently lying in a second position, and he's chasing down lane 5's Connor Lowry as we come up to the 600 metre mark and 200 metres to go for their last swimmer. It's nearly neck and neck as we come into the final dive and take over. Connor Lowry there, 5:57.04. That's 0.4 of a second quicker than Basildon Phoenix. This is a very exciting race, ladies and gentlemen, and Rushmore Royals is really taking the lead now. Rushmore Royals swimmer George Emmons in for them now. He's absolutely flying and now a body length ahead after the first 50.
And this is what happens when you decide to put your swimmers in the order that you do, because we have seen a real change here. Rushmere Royals really now are taking this by the horns, and I can tell you there was just 0.26 of a second between Thanet and the Rushmere Royals team at the 600 metre mark. Their coach down below me going crazy with the bright green t-shirts, taking a seat now as he knows he's still got 100 metres to go. But Rushmere Royals 6:53.13. They are now leading from Thanet Swim. City of Prescott and the team from Winsford are still trying to keep them in contention for tonight's final. The Prescott swimmer looking slightly tired. We need to give him a cheer and bring him home. But Rushmere Royals have just over 60 metres to go as they look like they will challenge the Basildon Phoenix team. The time we're looking for is 7:51.15. That is 7:51.15. If they want to get a lane number 4, Basildon and Phoenix have set that time. And here come the Thanet team again. They are coming back stroke for stroke. Rushmere Royals have actually slowed down their stroke. You can now see they are conserving their energy as they slowly bring their team into the finish. So they will certainly be a team in contention for that middle position tonight. They touch home in a time of 7:56.08. That's 7:56.08 for the Rushmere Royals team. Thanet touch home in a 7:57.14 and Prescott in 8:07.90. So we still have one team to come in, so please do show your support, and we will also be re-swimming the men's, one of the heats of a men's 50 metres backstroke. One swimmer will be re-swimming, so please do stick around. And Carlisle Aquatics then coming into their last 15 metres. These boys have really done their teams proud and put in a great effort here. So give them a round of applause, all of the boys in the 17 years and over 800 freestyle team. So the heat number 2's results are now official and they can be seen on the scoreboard.
And the summary for that is now on the scoreboard. So the top 10 teams there shown who will go through to tonight's final for the men's 17 years and over 4x200 freestyle relay.
So we are going to have a re-swim of the men's 50 metres backstroke. One of our swimmers is going to be swimming. That is Jacob Was from Warrington Warriors. If you cast your eyes down to the end of the pool, he's waiting there and he will be doing a re-swim of the men's 50 metres backstroke. We're just testing the time and equipment, and we will be back with you for some fast action in the pool for the dish dash splish splash re-swim of the men's 50 metres backstroke. So this re-swim is being done because it was considered that the athlete did not have a fair start. He has a personal best time of 28.66. He sent a 28.67 this morning. So let's give some encouragement as he comes into his last 15 metres. We're looking for a time of 28.66 or quicker to hit a personal best time for Jacob Was. Keep an eye on the scoreboard. He comes home to finish on an end stroke of 28.39. That's a new personal best time for Jacob Was. Congratulations.
And that final event concludes this session's racing at the ASA National Summer Championships at Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. We hope you've enjoyed this morning's session. We will be here this afternoon for session number 6, the finals, warm-up at 3:30 with a session start at 5, so we hope to see you all then. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the referees, we would like to thank the technical officials for their service and invite them to leave the poolside.